Welcome to PGSN and our coverage of the Pleasant Grove Vikings versus the Lehi Pioneers. It is a beautiful night here in Pleasant Grove.
It surely is.
Friday night lights. The Vikings, 4th in the state. The Pioneers, 6th in the state. If you're looking at max preps, if you're looking at the RPI, which is how they determine playoff seeding,
you're wrong.
Lehi is actually 4th and Pleasant Grove is 5th. The winner of this game will clinch home field advantage in the playoffs until the games are played at the University of Utah. So a big game, and a big game here for Pleasant Grove because you might be able to see the stadium lights over there. Kimball, that's American Fork, and that's their stadium. American Fork is playing Skyridge tonight. If Skyridge wins that game and Pleasant Grove wins their game, Pleasant Grove's region champs.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we talked about that in the pregame show, and we'll go to 1st and 10, the Vikings pregame show.
Tonight we have a thrilling matchup against the Pleasant Grove Vikings and the Lehi Pioneers.
Welcome to 1st and 10, the Vikings pregame show.
Tonight we have a thrilling matchup against the Pleasant Grove Vikings and the Lehi Pioneers. The Pleasant Grove Vikings are 8-1 and Lehi is 7-2. Vikings are looking to clinch the division with a win tonight.
Last week, PG upset Skyridge 34-31 in overtime. It was a great game, really fun to commentate, really fun to be at. Lehi beat Lone Peak 34-24. As you were saying, Pleasant Grove looking to win the region today. They have to win, and American Fork has to lose. They play Skyridge today if Pleasant Grove wants to win this region. The funny thing is, Pleasant Grove could finish 1st in the region, or they could finish 4th. So a wide range of possibilities for this Pleasant Grove team. And whatever happens today, we will know tomorrow at 10 a.m. who Pleasant Grove will play in the first round. They will get a first-round bye, and then their first game is in 2 weeks. Last week, man, what a win. A comeback victory while dealing with injuries. Carson hurt his knee in the third quarter, and you could tell his mobility was gone there in the third quarter. He was hurt. Mackay Peterson cramped towards the end of the game, and Bronco Winterton banged up the game-winning 12-yard catch.
We turned away a lot from our running backs last week, only giving them 8 total carries combined for 12 yards. We'll look for Tua Wolfgram and Aiden Franson tonight to get the run game going again.
Yeah, and on the other side, Lehi loves running the ball. They ran the ball a lot. They have a really, really good running back core with a 1-2 punch in the backfield, so expect them to run the ball a lot. It's going to be interesting to see who fills the hole that Levi Bezant leaves. I'm looking at Trevin Gates. I think Tua Wolfgram could also get involved, just those linebackers for Pleasant Grove. And then running the ball, you chew a lot of clock. It's going to be interesting to see what this Pleasant Grove team can do to counter that. Maybe some quick plays, some hurry-up offense, something we don't see a ton from Pleasant Grove, but something that I would not be surprised to see tonight.
Jet new first-year star replaces Jackson Brusso, freshman quarterback at Colorado State University. He's a pass-first guy with 1,878 yards with 22-6 touchdown-to-interception ratio.
Yeah, Jet Neo is a really good quarterback here for this Lehi team. He's a junior this season, so you'll see him next year as well. He's getting recruited by multiple colleges, including Buffalo, Utah State, Marshall, just some really good schools he's looking to play at that second level. But looking at Pleasant Grove Lehi today, can Pleasant Grove beat Lehi and maybe cement themselves as region champs, or will the Pioneers take down Pleasant Grove in their first season in 6A? Find out next on PGSN.
So right now, as you may be able to see, or you will be able to see in a second, is the largest American flag ever flown here in Pleasant Grove. It's being carried by the student council, teachers, and many other people that are involved with this. So
A funner fact, actually, it is the biggest ever American flag to be flown in a canyon, like in the world ever. It's one of PG's most specialist possessions.
And today we get to see that on our football field. We'll let this play out without
we'll be back.
without us. Really could not have asked for a better way to start out this game, as Pleasant Grove
Truly love that.
is preparing to take on the Lehi Pioneers with a lot at stake. There's a lot football-wise that hangs on this game.
Love to see the American flag bring players together. I don't know. It's one of my favorite things on this planet. I love that flag.
As we welcome you to Vikings Stadium here for Friday Night Lights, the Pleasant Grove Vikings take on the Lehi Pioneers. This is a Lehi team that loves to run the football. And this is a Pleasant Grove team who has had an amazing defense all season. American Fork and Skyridge have put up 31 on them in back-to-back weeks, but can't really blame this Pleasant Grove defense. Those are two of the top 3 teams in the state. Pleasant Grove did beat Skyridge in overtime, and then American Fork beat Skyridge by 21 in regulation. That is Pleasant Grove's only loss on the season, is that American Fork team.
Yes.
We're 8 minutes away from kickoff here, as your Vikings captains are Bronco Winterton, Sean Cottle, Cale McCoy, Mackay Peterson,
And Thatcher Kuhn.
Thatcher Kuhn, and there's one more, Trevin Gates, big old 44.
We got those 2 defensive players who are just wrecking balls and forces to be reckoned with.
I'm expecting to call Trevin's name a lot tonight, number 44.
Especially with Levi Bezant out still with his knee injury. He's going to have to step up for this defense.
Yeah, I think that we talked about it in the pregame show as well, but the run game and how much Lehi loves to run the ball, it's going to be hard to stop for this Pleasant Grove team with the absence of Levi Bezant. He is on the sideline today. He's with the team, got his jersey on, but no pads on. And he looks pretty good for a guy who dislocated his knee 2 weeks ago. Obviously, still far away from playing condition. The Vikings are hoping to have him back in 2 weeks for their first round, for their first playoff game, but realistically, they're expecting him the week after for round 2.
Love playoff football, especially in high school. Just get those emotions, and the best things about high school get cranked up to 11 when the playoffs start.
Yeah, regardless of the outcome of this game, the Vikings will be playing here in 2 weeks for their first playoff game. As the Pioneers captains are Max Ray, that's number 3, Jet Niu, whose name you'll hear a lot tonight. That's their quarterback, that's number 8. Number 10, Isaiah Mama. He is one of their wide receivers.
That's a cool last name.
Oh, Mama.
Whew.
That's a call I'll keep in my back pocket. And number 33, Grayson Brosow.
Crazy stuff.
Kimball had so much trouble saying that last name today for our pregame show.
If I can't read or I'm just delusional at this moment in time. But
Grayson,
we'll find that out later.
Grayson is related to Jackson Brosow, who is now rostered for Colorado State University.
Yeah.
So
some talent moving on.
Yeah, some talent in that family.
I had to take a quick look at the players' last names. Max Ray is not my cousin. It's a little different, but love to meet him.
5:30 as they do the coin toss.
Oh, and it's up. We can't hear anything, but we're going to act like we can.
And I think Lehi won the toss because the ref turned to Lehi, and I think he asked what they wanted to do. So Lehi wins the toss, we think.
See what's going on.
So the history between these two teams, the last time that Pleasant Grove played Lehi was 2019. Pleasant Grove won an overtime thriller.
I think my brother played in that game, I do believe.
That game was also the Vikings' first overtime win, or their last overtime win before last week. Their last overtime game, too. And the winner of today's game, as I said, gets home field advantage until the University of Utah. Pleasant Grove hasn't won a senior night game since 2018. You want to know what happened in 2018, Kimball?
Did we win state?
No.
Oh.
On senior night in 2018, we threw 4 interceptions.
Oh.
But Dane Christiansen had 3 rush touchdowns and 1 kickoff return for a touchdown, and our defense forced 3 turnovers as well.
And rise to your feet, because welcome to the jungle, run by the Vikings.
And
in
here
Utah Valley.
come your Vikings. Woo! Tanner Blake carrying the G flag. Bronco Winterton carrying the white Viking flag. Sean Cottle carrying the Grove Street flag. And then a host of Vikings carrying American flags. The Vikings are ready. Lehi's on their sideline. Man, oh man, are we ready for some
Nothing
football.
gets me pumped up like some Guns N' Roses on a Friday night with some football in the background, baby.
Man, oh man.
Woo!
Since 2010, these Vikings are 4-8 on senior night. Tonight is senior night. And
looking to get a little bit better record going on.
Yeah, Pleasant Grove hasn't gone undefeated at home since 2015 when they went 5-0 at home.
Wow.
And then 7-5 overall. So they went 2-5 at games played away from home. And Lehi hasn't had a losing record in region play since 2015, which would happen if Lehi loses tonight.
Oh.
Man, this crowd is ready. The student section for Pleasant Grove is...
Even the parents are standing up for this one. They're pumped.
Pleasant Grove student section is disappointing, to say the least.
It's okay.
The Vikings...
If I know anything about PGs, they'll be here later.
It'll grow a little bit. Yeah. The Vikings are in a blackout, and the Pioneers are in a whiteout. If you look at their 2 sidelines, you can see the Pioneer fans on your screen wearing all white.
They're on that right side of the stands over there.
So as we talked about, Skyridge is playing American Fork, and then Lone Peak is playing Westlake tonight. Those are the other games from around the region. Lehi beat Westlake and then lost to American Fork and Skyridge, and then they beat Lone Peak last week. So Lehi is on a 2-game winning streak.
Yeah,
Pleasant Grove has won.
Very, very tight game. Both teams, I would say pretty balanced. We got a really good pass game. They got a really good run game. But I think what's going to help PG win if they do is their defense. And I'm sure Lehi's defense is they're no slackers.
Yeah,
so
Lehi's defense is also really good. It took until week 5 for a team to score more than 14 points on them. And then in week 6, American Fork dropped 62.
Yeah.
That American Fork team is a really, really good team.
Yeah.
As Lehi will kick to the Vikings. Vikings send Kel McCoy and Riker Mickelson back deep.
Very rarely do you see a middle linebacker or a defensive player on kick returns taking it back. But Riker's got that speed that we need, and he can just run through people.
Yeah,
like
Riker Mickelson's been playing so well all season, kind of in a little bit of a nickelback position.
Yeah.
Not the band, but... So the Pioneers kicker is Gavin Fenn, the 6'3" junior. He's wearing number 5.
And here we go.
And we're off, as that one's going to be booted into the end zone for a touchback. Well, past the end zone, technically. And Carson Rasmussen and the offense will come out on the field for Pleasant Grove. Let's talk about last week a little bit, Kimball. Carson Rasmussen hurt his knee in the 3rd quarter, and man, did he play a game. Last week was his first week with quote-unquote negative rushing yards. Here in high school, they count sack yards as rushing yards. But he hurt his knee in his 3rd quarter, and he wasn't running after that. He really couldn't run. He could hardly walk, and led the Vikings to a comeback victory with just his arm.
You know what he could do is drop dimes.
Yeah, can put that ball wherever he wants with that arm. Carson sends a man in motion. It's Sean, takes a snap. They're going to hand it off to him. Trying to find the edge.
That's Tua Wolfgram on the run there.
It's going to be a gain of about 2. It was Tua Wolfgram, you were right.
Tua. He is the man of the hour, at least he was last week. That pick and a touchdown.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it in the pregame show, but Tua Wolfgram was your PGSN player of the week. He had 3 catches for 89 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a big interception in the red zone. So Tua Wolfgram had a great game last week. So here's Carson with trips on his right side. Sends Franson in motion, takes a snap, throws his way. Pass is caught, and he's going to get brought down in the backfield for a loss of 4 to make it 3rd down and 12.
Well,
Franson struggled last week with only 1 rush for -1 yard.
let's just say Lehi brought their defense out swinging.
3rd down and 12 with 11 minutes and counting left in this ball game.
All right, 3rd down
Carson.
and more than we want.
Rasmussen comes out in the ace formation. He's got a one-on-one at the bottom of your screen that I would not be surprised to see him target. I believe that's Sean. But here's Rasmussen. He takes a snap. He looks right. Continues to look right. Throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. So 4th down and 12. The Vikings are going to send out the punt team here.
Slow start to a game. That's not always a great thing to see, but, I mean, plenty of time to get it going.
As the Pioneers send back Boston Fabrizio as well as Mays Madsen.
Well, I guess we just got an answer to how good Lehi's defense is. Allowing negative yards on the first drive. That's big props.
Back to punt for the Vikings is Cale McCoy. Let's see. Almost had that one blocked, and he sends a laser downfield. But it's going to be fielded by Madsen. And he's got green grass in front of him.
He's got wheels
all the
on
way
him.
down to the 30. Man. And that was Fabrizio, excuse me. But he picked that up, and he just started going. It's like he had rocket boosters.
Yeah, somebody's ready to play some football. Well, let's see what the Vikings defense can do. They're not winning the field position battle right now. Lehi will start their first drive in Vikings territory.
And this sends out Jet Niu, the junior quarterback. There's one wide receiver out way wide to his right, but the Pioneers love to run the football. And it's play action to open up the game. He targets that deep pass, and it's intercepted by Makai Peterson.
I would not be surprised if they call offensive pass interference there.
Yeah, Tyson Greenwood was the intended receiver. Makai Peterson caught that ball with one hand. There is a flag on the play by the goal line. I'm expecting a pass interference. We'll see if they point towards the offense or the defense. And the Vikings, it's offensive pass interference, so that penalty will be declined. Makai Peterson, man, oh man, what a catch on the interception.
Not exactly sure what Jet was looking for in the pass there. It was a great route, don't get me wrong, but like there just wasn't enough space back there to get separation, and just great defense.
And the Vikings are going to start with the ball at the 20 after a
Makai
touchback.
Peterson. Well, that was flawless defense right there.
As the handoff for the Vikings.
I think it was to Aiden Franson, but I do believe there's a flag down on the play.
That's going to be a gain of 2.
There
At
is
least
a flag down.
It stands for 2 right now. 10 minutes remaining here in this first quarter as both teams have already had a chance to have the ball.
I believe that's going to be a holding.
They are pointing the Vikings offense.
That's what it will be.
So they'll move them back 10 yards. As you can see, the numbers between these two quarterbacks, Jet Niu and Carson Rasmussen, both have very similar completion percentages. And Niu has missed a game. So all these numbers are only with 8 games played. Carson's played 9. But a big thing that really sticks out to me are those rush yards. Carson with 484 on the season. Niu with -29. And the Vikings get the Pioneers to jump, so the Vikings are going to get 5 of those yards back.
Unfortunately, with that holding call there, the Vikings know that all too well, as they have had a lot of those called on them, especially when they're trying to get some run games going.
Well, so last week for Pleasant Grove, the Vikings actually had only 5 penalties for 45 yards compared to Skyridge's 12 penalties for 126 yards. So the Vikings were really good playing just good offense and defense and discipline, as that's going to be a gain of about 5 yards as another flag is thrown. And the pass is ruled incomplete. Not sure what that one might be. Carson got that ball out pretty quick. The refs are having a conference at the 15-yard line.
As you do.
And they're going to go talk to Lehi's head coach. So I'm guessing this one's on Pleasant Grove, and they're asking Lehi if he wants to decline it.
So that's 3 straight plays with penalties on them.
We'll see if we can get.
An eligible man downfield, I believe, is what that is called. They're going to decline that there, so it's going to be 2nd down.
Yep, 2nd down and 15.
If you guys are unsure what ineligible man downfield is, it just means an offensive lineman took too many steps forward and was just in the field of wide receivers.
Yep, they're limited to about 3 or 4 yards in front of the line of scrimmage is about how far they can go before a pass is thrown. 3 is usually the barrier, but some refs will give a little more room. As Carson takes a snap, looks right, throws right, pass is caught. That's going to be a gain of 5. Tanner Blake with the catch. So 3rd down and 10, the Vikings.
Tanner Blake will come out, and Mekhi Peterson will go in and take his spot.
As trips on the left side for Rasmussen, and then a lone wide receiver on the right. Rasmussen with the single back on his left hip. Now he's going to audible. 11 on the play clock, 8:53 on the game clock. Rasmussen takes the snap, looks right, throws right, and it's incomplete. I can't imagine how there's not a pass interference penalty.
There will not be one called, though. I do see what you're saying. I believe he got there a little too early, but refs decide not early enough.
As it's 4th down and 10 for this Pleasant Grove team. 8:44 remaining here in the first quarter, and Cal McCoy's going to punt for the 2nd time.
Yeah.
As that punt's going to be fielded by Fabrizio, and he gets gobbled up by Riker Mickelson and Matt Morris. That's not Matt Morris, excuse me. For the Vikings, that is number 20. I believe it is Trevor Braby. Yeah. It is Trevor Braby, the senior.
As Lehi threw a pick last time, not going too great. Let's see if they can shake it off and come back, actually, maybe see what they can do with the ball, not in the Vikings' hands.
Here's New. Sends a man in motion. Takes a snap. He's going to hand it off, and a big gap up the middle. Bronco Winterton's going to make the tackle after a gain of about 6. For Lehi, it was Kolosi Latu, who had 13 rushes for 30 yards last week and 1 touchdown. Devon Aka is a guy who you'll see a lot for the Pioneers tonight. He wears number 24. He's also in that running back position. He averaged 5 yards per carry last week.
That is a lot of yards per carry.
Neo in an empty set.
He's going to bring his tight end in. Some help.
Neo takes a snap, looks left, throws left quickly. And the catch is made for the Pioneers by Mays Madsen, as it's going to be 3rd down and about 2.
Gabe McCoy on the tackle there. Good job pushing him out of bounds before the 1st down.
7:53 remaining here in the first quarter.
I'm going to bet that Lehi will run the football here. Considering their run-first offense, and they don't have too many yards left to go. And it looks like that's what they're going to do with the formation of their tight end.
They do have the single back. Neo takes a snap. Vikings do rush,
Oh,
and he breaks free. It's Letu who gets brought down by Bronco Winterton after a big gain of almost 20 yards.
A little sad there. He tripped up. He might have had a touchdown if he didn't slip.
So the 29-yard line is where this Pioneers offense moves. 7:37 remaining here in the first quarter. Neo with the Twins formation, so 2 wide receivers on each side. And then I believe it's Letu in the backfield with him. Takes a snap, looks left, looks right. He's going to heave one downfield, and it's caught. That's touchdown by Mays Madsen, and the Pioneers go up 6-0 with 7:21 remaining here in the first quarter, pending the point after.
Talk about someone who can learn from their mistakes and build on them. What a read there. Looks like the Vikings were playing a cover 2, and they just had their mans. They're playing more outside coverage instead of in the middle of the field, and they let up that big one right there.
Yeah, that was a great throw by Niu. Now Tyson Greenwood is going to hold while Gavin Fenn kicks for the Pioneers. As the kick is good. So the score moves 7-0. The Pioneers with an early lead over Pleasant Grove with 7:21 remaining in the first quarter. So the Pioneers with a 7-0 lead, and now the Vikings will receive their second kickoff of the ball game. Here is Fenn, as that one's going to be booted out the back of the end zone. Vikings going to start with the ball on the 25 once again.
That almost went through the uprights. That was a boot and a half.
A great kick by Fenn. He has a lot of power on that leg. As Carson Rasmussen and the Vikings offense need to find something to get themselves going. There hasn't really been much that's worked for them today. They've tried some quick passes to the outside.
Running hasn't worked either, unfortunately. But we'll see what they can do.
So Carson's going to have 22 with him in the backfield. As they're going to run a more loaded backfield. As I believe Lehi,
I believe PG's going to call a timeout.
PG is going to call a timeout.
Coach Walking Horse is not too happy right now.
This is a really crucial drive for this Pleasant Grove team. You really need to get the offense going here. You can't let Lehi go up 2 possessions this early in the ball game. Really got to go down and score. It'll be interesting what Coach Walk and the offense dial up.
CD Lamb.
7:21 remaining here in this first quarter as Rasmussen and the offense come out in a split back formation.
They have only started from their own red zone.
As there's a flag.
Guessing false start.
And it is going to be a false start. That's something that's been killing the Vikings today. They already have, I believe it's 4 penalties. I think that was their 4th, and they only had 5 last week. So something that's really been a struggle for this Pleasant Grove team early, and something that they will absolutely have to clean up if they want to walk away with a victory. And the refs are having a conference, so they might
see what goes on.
And they're going to call a delay of game on Lehi.
I've never seen a delay of game called on a defense before. That is interesting. Apparently that's more important than the false start.
I have seen a delay of game on the defense, but I didn't think they were going to call one in that situation. Usually it's called when a team stays in their huddle too long after a timeout, and that's exactly, I mean, that's what Lehi's kind of doing right now. But I don't think Lehi was still in their huddle. I think they had broken it.
I'm not too sure.
As Rasmussen with the ace formation, as the refs are still having a discussion about what that call.
Talking to the center there.
Rasmussen takes a snap. Franson goes out wide. They're going to throw it to him, and it was almost intercepted. There's a flag. It's going to be roughing the passer on Lehi. That's something that you absolutely hate to see with how Carson was hurt last week and how, I mean, roughing the passer is already a little bit of a a rough penalty. It's not something you want to do. The quarterbacks are so protected in this game, and especially when your guy back there has been playing so well all season.
Yeah.
That might create a little bit of bad blood between these two teams.
Yeah, that'll be a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. I mean, they were going to get it anyways, but that is a big penalty. They want to really get into these defenses that we want to make sure that the quarterback's okay, because without quarterbacks, you can't really have a football game. So
Rasmussen takes a snap, hands it off to Franson. Franson is going to go nowhere. He's going to get brought down after they're just going to call him down at the line of scrimmage. Another thing that's so big in this region is just how good the quarterbacks are. Yeah. Dylan Story for American Fork, Jackson Stevens for the Falcons, Carson here, Niu for the Pioneers, and then, of course, we saw Isaac Staley for Lone Peak, but that was their backup, and Staley played a really good game. So there's a lot of talent in this region at quarterback, and you would hate to see one of them go down, especially before the playoffs hit.
Yeah.
Rasmussen is 2nd and 10, trips on his left side, sends Sean Cottle in motion, takes a snap, looks left, throws over the middle, caught by James Clark. And it's going to be a gain of 17 yards on 2nd and 10, first down, Pleasant Grove.
That is a great spark. They just need a little bit more flame on this fire, and it will start going.
Watch James Clark at the bottom of your screen. He's the head of that trips formation. He just kind of finds a hole in their zone and just kind of sits in it, waits for Carson to find him.
Looks like PG's going to go quick here.
Rasmussen looks left. He wants to take a shot. Now he's going to roll out and throw it out. Oh, he found a man.
Oh,
Tanner Blake.
On the run.
15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Carson Rasmussen. Holy cow. You need to calm down.
He is cooking with gas now.
Watch him roll out. I thought he was just going to throw it out of bounds. He threw just the ball up, said a prayer. Tanner Blake got right under it.
I don't know if he said a prayer or if he had a joystick in his left hand guiding that missile right into Tanner Blake's hands. That was incredible. So I was talking about getting a spark going. Turns out they got a spark and then the gasoline on that fire, because that was an explosive play.
That might have been one of the best plays we've seen from Carson all season as Parker Hall kicks it through the uprights to tie it 7-7.
He has made a lot in a row. He's straight. I think he missed his first field goal of the year, but has been very, very slow to miss field goals after that.
Oh,
so
my
he's playing well.
Goodness. What a play by Carson.
Was just, we call that the finesse side of football. Like, you see basketball has their floaters, which I'm sure Carson will do come basketball season, but just floater there in a perfect spot.
I'm not sure I've seen a better play from any quarterback this season. That was, you talk about hitting players in stride. You talk about hitting them just dotting throws over the shoulder. Now imagine trying to dot that while you're running. Man, Carson is just an athlete.
Sometimes you forget how much of a dual threat he is until he just crams it down your throat.
Yeah. Carson Rasmussen is going to be a name to remember in Pleasant Grove. With 6:32 remaining here in this ballgame, it's all tied up. Rockwell Doman ready to kick off. As his kick is going to be a little bit of a squib kick.
I think he just put his foot in the wrong spot of the football.
As Riker Mickelson can't make the tackle. And all the way up to the 35-yard line is Mays Madsen, the Vikings defense going to work.
Number 23 for the Vikings. I'm not quite sure what his name is. We're finding that right real quick. Dallin Weaver with the tackle there. His little brother sits in front of me in history class, and he is a fellow 49ers fan.
I'm sorry.
And, no, I wouldn't say sorry. We're the best team in the league. So we're fine.
As Niu with Letu in the backfield with them, we haven't seen any of Devon Aka, which I'm a little surprised as the refs are pointing at something. I'm not sure what they're pointing at, but the situation seems to be all cleared up. So 6:24 remaining here in the first quarter, as we've got a great ball game so far, 7-7. Niu sends a man on the shift just to maybe try and see what the Vikings defense is running. It's going to be Letu who breaks a tackle and two. Trevin Gates almost got a hand on him. Sean Cottle brought him down after a gain of 5. So 2nd down and 5 as this Pioneers run defense has been, rush game has been absolutely dominant tonight.
Lautu looks like a bigger guy, and he definitely is, but he's definitely quite agile there. He can stick and move and make defenders miss like we saw there.
Yeah, Niu sends 2 guys out to the wide side of the field, and then a single man with a split back in the backfield. Takes a snap, play action. Vikings rush as it's intercepted by Tua Wolfgram to the 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Pleasant Grove.
And
Holy cow, Tua Wolfgram. Watch him. This is supposed to be a screenplay for Lehi, and Tua Wolfgram reads it and sits on it. He's trying to hit Lehi, and Wolfgram just pushes him away and intercepts it. Tua Wolfgram had 1 interception last week.
Wow.
He's trying to defend his PGSN Player of the Game title.
Well, the turntables look like Lehi had the upper hand up here in the first quarter, but they are now down. I would like to point out that the Cavemen are beating Skyridge right now. Very early in that game, but it is 7-0 for the Cavemen.
So here's Parker Hall ready to kick his second PAT in the last minute or so of game time. That's going to be an offsides on Lehi. They tried to jump the snap count, and this is going to move the kick to about I think it's the 1-yard line. So
that was
might see Pleasant Grove decide to go for it.
absolutely crazy. Just back-to-back great plays. There's that Vikings defense already with 2 turnovers in this game. I was going to say Lehi's defense looked a little more physical, but I'm going to have to leave that to they're more physical in the run game than the Vikings are right now. But when it comes to the pass game, they just haven't really been able to put it together.
Yeah, the Vikings with a 13-7 lead for now. Still trying to decide what they want to do on the PAT. If you can't tell, I am a little sick. Hopefully that doesn't impact you guys too much. But
Your voice is so deep that I think it'll be
that it's no different. So it is an offsides on Lehi. It looks like Pleasant Grove's just going to take the kick about 1 yard closer.
Hopefully he can make it. We'll see.
Parker's got the leg. Parker Hall has done a great job all season.
Just a little bit of sarcasm.
As it's going to be an 18-yard field goal. As it is good. So 14-7 moves your score. And something I've done after every single one, at least every single game for Parker Hall, is like to let everyone know that they won their flag football game again last night. Parker Hall and his team. They have 1 loss on the season. So
that's exciting stuff.
Their flag football team has as many losses as this Vikings varsity team. So as Caden has an A- in English.
That's crazy.
5:35 remaining here in the first quarter.
All right.
He just showed us his grade. So I didn't know if he wanted us to tell everyone, but
he's got a 92%.
92.91, and the difference is a 93.
My eyeball saw it. Saws it all.
So here's Rockwell, and I'm not sure if last time they called a squib kick because there are 2 really dangerous
there it is.
returners back there for Lehi.
Yeah, I think he just put his foot in the wrong spot last time, and he made up for his mistake there.
So 14-7 with 5:35 remaining here in this first quarter. The Vikings defense back on the field after just scoring a touchdown.
Well, let's see what Lehi's offense can cook up this time. They have not really been able to get anything going.
As you were right, the Viking student section is slowly filling up.
Just a little bit bigger. I think they probably doubled the size already.
But also, Lehi's not too far of a drive, and their student section has done a good job as well. Here's Niu. He takes a snap, play action, looks left, throws left, catches made by Madsen. Madsen down the sideline is going to get pushed out of bounds by Gabe McCoy. Just short of a first down. It's going to be second down and short. It's 14-7 now. And I think they are going to call it a first down. They are going to call it a first down. So Gabe McCoy pushed him out of bounds. So after a gain of 10 on first down, it's going to be first down and 10 once again.
Yep. 5:28 left to go in the first quarter. A lot of action so far. See if it continues to be so.
Niu's going to have Trips on his right side. For those that are confused with what I say, when I say that, Trips is 3 wide receivers on one side of the formation. Sometimes you'll see him in a triangle formation, and sometimes you'll see him in a line like that as Caleb Moore goes in motion.
Trip as in triple.
Niu takes a snap, throws over the middle, incomplete.
Just out of the reach of wide receiver number 11, Briggs Jensen.
Caleb Moore.
That is
Briggs Jensen is their backup quarterback.
Just kidding. There's 2 number 11s.
And if you recognize Briggs Jensen, you might also recognize... If you recognize Briggs Jensen, you might also recognize Mason Jensen, who's now starting at quarterback down in Arizona.
We have just found out that our Pleasant Grove versus Skyridge game last week was on Sports Illustrated right now.
Wolfgram lays the boom.
Well, I guess
not to interrupt you, but
long live the reign of Tua on defense.
Holy cow, Tua Wolfgram.
He is the king right now.
Carson is a multi-sport athlete, and Tua is also a multi-sport athlete. He's committed to play baseball at BYU.
Go Cougs.
Next season. He is a senior this year, so this is his final regular season high school game. And then he's got baseball season in the spring.
Yep.
As an ace formation for Lehi, which means they have 2 wide receivers on each side. As Niu takes a snap, looks left. It's 3rd down and 12. Steps up in the pocket, tries to roll out, and he's going to get sacked. 44. Trevin Gates brings him down for a loss of 4. That's a bad man right there. Trevin Gates with 4:30 and counting here in the first quarter. The Vikings are going to get the ball back.
Wow. He did that tackle with some style. Truly, truly just fundamental, wonderful defense there.
And Trevin has been doing that since August. He has been in the backfield of opposing offenses all season. As this is, I don't know if I've ever seen this from a punt team, but
Hey, fake question mark? Oh no, just a bad punt, a snap. But
as there is the
makes
punt,
up for it.
fair catch called by Cal McCoy, and he will make the catch at about the 37, 38-yard line for Pleasant Grove. This is their best starting field position all day, and a flag and some late whistles. As to a Wolfgram.
The announcer is
As we'll see
is just as upset as we are to see more flags.
who this penalty is on. 3:53 remaining here in the first quarter.
This is one of the longer first quarters I've seen, but we've had enough action to fill an entire game.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns already. They're pointing.
Delectable treat, an enchanted treat, if you will.
It is a holding on Pleasant Grove's return team. So that will move the Vikings to start at the 29 instead of the 37. As Rasmussen and company, after, I mean, they've been off the field for a while. The last play they were on the field was Carson's floater that he dunked in for a touchdown. That's a couple basketball references, but
We do know that sport.
Sean Cottle goes in motion. Rasmussen takes a snap, looks over the middle.
This play before.
Now rolls out to the right, throws, and it's dropped by Aiden Franson.
Honestly, probably a good thing he dropped that. Would have been a loss of about 5.
And
but
Franson is limping.
Shaken up.
And you hate to see that. Aiden Franson, who we have
Looks like
cordially
Tua will go
nicknamed
in.
the bowling ball, he's going to go all the way down.
He is not okay.
Hopefully it's just cramping, but we're not going to speculate on an injury.
We're going to get a timeout here.
Aiden Franson has been so big for this Pleasant Grove team all season. 2-time PGSN Player of the Game winner. We will take the cameras away. It's Vikings 14, Pioneers 7. We'll be back in Pleasant Grove. As Franson is helped stepped up and walking off the field under his own power. That's great to see. We'll keep an eye on him. He is walking rather slow, but we wish him the best, and we hope
he'll be back.
A speedy recovery for Aiden.
It looks like Tua will come in and play running back now for the Vikings, and he's had a really good, I guess, start to his running back career. Started it late in the season, but he's been more of a wide receiver back.
So I texted Tua after the game against Westlake, and I texted him, and I was like, hey, he had one play at running back, and I was like, hey, like, is this going to be something more often that we're going to see you in the backfield, or is this kind of like a, hey, coach, like, we're up by 25, let me go play running back? And he was like, yeah, I've been rotating in and out of practice. Well, we saw him play some running back in the American Fort game, and then we grubbed at Taco Bell after the game, and we saw Tua there, and he came up to me, and he was like, hey, you saw those running back reps? Those are going to be big, and they have been big for this Vikings team, as the whole right side of the line jumped for Pleasant Grove.
Unfortunate.
As that's another penalty to make it 2nd down and 15.
That is a shot in the foot.
Vikings have been hurting themselves when they haven't had great field position on this side of the field for the majority of the game. That's something that will have to be cleaned up, but lucky for them, they have a 7-point lead. Rasmussen, a tight bunch, trips on his left side, takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Wolfgram. Wolfgram breaks free, and he's at the 40, past the 50, and he is gone. 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. Wolfgram with his 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
And it looks like it might be a back-to-back player of the game for him.
Crown him to a Wolfgram. Watch him turn on those jets and go.
I've never seen a pitcher with wheels like that, but let's just say if there's ever a pickle, he's going to do it. What a delicate, orchestrated run there. Just really, really good.
Catchers usually have great arms. Usually don't see catchers with explosive legs like that.
I usually see him playing quarterback. Maybe he can throw. Maybe it's something he just doesn't want to do. I don't know. Well, so much to Lehi's defense being stiffening at the run game.
Let's not call it too early here.
But that's the play they're gonna want back.
As Parker Hall, with his 3rd extra point of the game and his 3rd made extra point of the game. So it's 21-7 Vikings. Believe it or not, we've still got 3:33 left in the 1st quarter.
We have an automatic kicker there.
So Pleasant Grove, well, I guess Lehi opened the scoring. It was Jet Niu with the touchdown pass. And then for the Vikings, they had a
21 in a row.
They had a Carson Rasmussen to Tanner Blake touchdown pass. They had a Tua Wolfgram pick 6. And then they had a Tua Wolfgram 70-plus yard rush touchdown. So it's 21-7. Pleasant Grove leads with 3:33 remaining here in the 1st quarter. Rockwell Dolman's getting a lot of action here early. And here is Rockwell on the boot. So that one's going to go just short of the end zone. Oh, and it's going to be tipped into the end zone. He tried to make the catch. It was number 22 for Lehi. We saw him with a big return on a punt, Boston Fabrizio.
He's lucky that bounced in the end zone, or else that would have been a live ball.
But he wanted to have a chance to return that ball, and he couldn't get it. Jalen Royals with his 2nd touchdown of the night for Utah State, if anyone's interested. It's 14-14 in Logan. That's the game I would be at right now if I didn't have this game to be at. American Fork is up on Skyridge 15-0 early. Niu takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Lehi. Lehi gets chased down by Trevin Gates at the line of scrimmage, number 44.
Trevin Gates and Tua Wolfgram on the tackle there. Tag team in that.
Tua Wolfgram, holy cow. He's a name we've called so many times tonight. He's just a guy who excels at everything. And he has played a great game so far, and we've still got a lot of time left.
I'd like to update the AF for Skyridge game. American Fork is now up 15-0. It's not looking too good for PG's hopes of clinching this division.
Pleasant Grove shows blitz. As the run, Trevor Braby with a good tackle.
Ooh.
After a gain of 5.
That hit like a cruel summer. That was painful.
3rd down and 5 for the Vikings. As Trevor Braby's going to come off.
Yeah, he might need to rest his noggin. That was a hit.
The Vikings on the 3rd and 5 looking for a big stop here. Twins out wide to the left side. That's 2 receivers. And then 1 man out wide to the wide side of the field.
Looks like this tight end might run for a route. And there he is up the middle of the field.
Niu takes a
Oh,
shot.
he got a man wide open.
And it's caught. Can Bronco chase him down? Touchdown, Lehi.
Woo!
The 75-yard touchdown pass to number 12.
Justice Cooper on the catch there. Talk about a man who can keep his balance and tightrope down the field. Just when you think Lehi is out of this game, or they're going to have a bad first quarter, that's a strike and a half. Right back at you.
As we have had a big first quarter here, 34 points with the possibility of making it 35 on this
So,
PAT.
looks like touchdowns either show up for the entire drive or they give up on a drive. But we've seen some inconsistent defense by both teams here tonight.
As Gavin Fenn boots that one through to make it a 21-14 ball game. Vikings up 7 with 2:05 remaining.
Well, let's see if the Vikings can answer. But this game is moving super quick. I'm not going to say I hate it, though. I do love to see these offensive games. Really interesting.
Yeah, Lehi has already scored 14 points. Pleasant Grove didn't allow 14 total points. Doesn't sound as cool as I thought it was going to. It was Weber in week 2 who scored 14 on Pleasant Grove after they shut out Farmington in week 1.
Yeah.
As Fenn will kick once again.
Most likely is to go out the back of the end zone. This kid's got
That's all we've seen from him today.
rocket strapped to his ankle.
As that is exactly where this one's going.
I think he's trying to make a field goal. I don't know.
I don't think this Lehi team's going to be hesitant to kick.
Crazy. Yeah, probably not.
2:05 remaining here in the first quarter. As Carson Rasmussen and the offense take the field once again. It was a 70-plus yard rush touchdown by Tua Wolfgram on the last drive that was then matched by a 75-yard passing touchdown. Jet Niu to Justice Cooper for that Lehi football team. As Rasmussen's going to come out in the ace formation with a single back on his right hip. Rasmussen takes a snap. Lehi blitzes, throws deep. And Cal McCoy makes the catch.
Wow.
Oh, Lehi, it's incomplete. Lehi's sideline.
Saw that one.
As we're going to see if we can see anything that may show that the pass was.
The ground made him lose control of the ball. But
as you can see, what we thought was him pulling it in there. I don't see the ball pop free, but.
The ref did have that ground angle that we don't. But PG being very explosive through the air so far.
Rasmussen's done a great job finding open men and making good reads.
Maybe he just needs to wait in the pocket a little bit longer, have some faith in his offensive line, and get those shots downfield.
Carson takes a snap, but not before a Pleasant Grove timeout. That's their second timeout of the half. We've still got 2 minutes left in this first quarter, and we will be back.
Find out who the hell PG is. We're gonna send a message to the whole damn state. Every single play, bring it to him. Hit him in the face. Make a decision right now. We're gonna win this football game. Let's get it done. Let's go. Roll 3 on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Moving things in a mile. What's a mile to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer who don't believe in?
If you want to see that full edit, it's on Instagram at hangsta.gangsta. He's a PGSN alum, and he has absolute gas on the camera. We'll also show you the whole thing during halftime. But Josh Hanks does an incredible job, not only with the camera, but also with the editing. And, man, we're lucky to have him involved.
Franson is already back in this game.
It's Matt Morris.
Yeah,
Rasmussen takes a snap, throws the
screen pass.
Screen to Cottle, and he's going to get maybe a yard before getting brought down by a host of Pioneer defenders.
Might as well have been a wagon cart because Pioneers are all over that.
3rd down and 9. 1:40 and counting remaining here in the first quarter.
Yeah, they tried to take him back across the plains, but whistle blew that dead, and he'll get some yards due to forward motion or whatever.
Forward progress.
Yeah.
We were talking about how this Lehi rush offense will really accelerate the game and make it go by a little faster than usual, and it really hasn't done that.
This is not tickets. Seconds. I feel like they're ticking backwards almost.
As Rasmussen takes a snap, looks right, and a whistle's blown. Carson spinning out of trouble. I don't see a flag. It's a delay of game on Pleasant Grove.
It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
.107 here in the first quarter.
It's a crisp Friday night here in Pleasant Grove.
Or I'm not sure. Yeah, it was a delay of game. It moves them back to the 14-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and 14 with less than a minute going now.
Nice 53 degrees out, which you may think is cold, but I'm sure these Vikings love the temperature.
Rasmussen takes a shot, and it's incomplete. Kel McCoy couldn't get his hands on that one.
He has yet to find his rhythm in this game.
As it's going to move the Vikings to a 4th down and 14 with 48.5 remaining here in the first quarter. The Vikings have taken a lot of shots today. They took 2 on that drive. Kel McCoy had the first one knocked out by a good play by a Pioneer corner, and then couldn't haul in the second one. And now his brother is out to punt. Here's Gabe as he gets that one over a couple Pioneers, as it's going to bounce out of bounds just short of the 50. That one was almost blocked. Good job by Gabe to get 35 yards on it.
Yeah, that was, might need some help there on the special teams because that was a bit sketchy.
As the Vikings defense comes out up 7 with 40 seconds left to play in the first quarter. As Niu is back out for the Pioneers. Niu takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Leitu. Leitu's going to get brought down after a gain of about 4 to make it a gain of 3, to make it 2nd down and 7 as the clock is running.
All right.
As I think Lehi might be fine with the clock just running out the rest of this first quarter. As now Mays Madsen sprints in to get.
Looks like they'll take one more play before the
I don't think they're going to have time. That is going to be the end of the first quarter. It's Vikings 21, Pioneers 14 after one quarter. There have been some fireworks. I don't know why you'd leave, but stick around. We'll be back.
Yep.
Or we're back, I guess.
We took our break. 35 points combined here.
Yeah.
That's usually, you usually get that only, it usually takes an entire game to get that going, but quick today.
As we're going to have a quick first quarter highlight video. has a pass go off the hands of his receiver.
It's actually his running back.
Yeah, Lehi or
Almost had another interception there, but the ball bounced out of Lehi's hands a different direction.
Yeah, Lehi has played a great game, as now we'll see Devon Aka in the backfield. A 3rd down and 7 for this Pioneers team.
See if the Pioneers can tie it here. 3rd down though, they've done plenty well on 3rd down so far this game. Let's see what they can do here.
Trips on the left side for Niu. He takes a snap, looks right. Continues to look right, throws it right, and it's incomplete. It's going to be 4th down and 7 for this Pioneers team. Makai Peterson.
Justice Cooper, who caught the touchdown on the last drive for the Pioneers, but looks like the ball bounced.
Looks like it went off his knee or so.
Hit his knee and just went flying.
So now that sends out Gavin Fenn.
And Gabe McCoy will take the kick.
As Fenn
has
with
plenty
the punt.
of time to kick.
As Kale's going to let that one bounce over his head, and the Vikings are going to be pinned inside their own 10-yard line.
Looks like at the 5.
It's going to be the 7 or so yard line where Carson Rasmussen and this offense will start.
Yeah, they're going to say 7. Very good call there by my good friend here, Ellen.
The Vikings offense has showed us a lot of ability to take deep shots and make explosive plays. And, you know, with 93 yards to go for 6, would not be surprised to see them turn that way here.
Yeah, maybe get some breathing room behind them. Run the ball once or twice. But, yeah, deep shots tend to happen out here in kind of no man's land.
As Franson is getting checked on the medical table on the sideline. As the Vikings are going to hand it off to Wolfgram. Wolfgram gets a gain of about 3 on 1st down. And looked like he fumbled, but the play was blown dead, and a Viking jumped on it regardless.
I believe he hit the ground and then dropped the ball, which means he's down, so the fumble will not count. Yeah, so he was down and then dropped the ball. We're good.
So 2nd down and 6 is what the scoreboard says. I think it's about 2nd down and 7 for this Pleasant Grove team. But
it's not a 1st down, but we do have to understand that a 4-yard run to start a drive is not too shabby.
Rasmussen takes the snap, looks left. Pump fake, and he's going to get brought down.
And that is one of the dangers of throwing in your own territory, deep in your own territory, is if you get sacked, it's not going to look pretty.
Yeah, the Vikings are at their own 4-yard line now. As the Pioneers looking to make a stop here on 3rd down and about 13. With 10:36 remaining here in the 2nd quarter, Carson's going to take the snap from his own end zone. Split backs. Carson takes a snap, looks right. Continues to look right, takes a deep shot for Reichert. It's Tanner Blake, and he hauls it in.
He has been the wide receiver of the day.
They're fighting for it. I'm not sure. Usually, they'll give the wide receiver the benefit of the doubt and give him the ball. And he does come out with it and points for a Pleasant Grove 1st down.
Some fire and ice in his bones. He has definitely been the offensive player to look at so far this game.
Ozzie Williams for Lehi is trying to argue that he had possession. As I was saying, usually they'll give the benefit of the doubt to the wide receiver. If they're fighting for it on the ground and it looks like it's about 50s, the ball will stay with the offense. As Rasmussen,
he caught the ball to begin with,
throws a pass incomplete. As there's a late hit on Rasmussen, and he's limping now. That's just a dirty play for the Pioneers. Fuapauna Mama, the defensive end, is Carson's limping now.
A lot of upset parents right now. Carson's going to try to walk this off.
And not just the parents, the coaches are very visibly upset on the sideline.
T-Walk's trying to talk to the ref. He's like, excuse me, that was a bit late.
It was a late hit, first of all. It was a late hit on the quarterback, second of all. It was a late hit on a quarterback who hurt his knee last week.
I don't know if that matters, but it does for us.
As Rasmussen has a pass batted down at the line of scrimmage, and that Lehi sideline is hyped. or at least the fans are. 3rd and 10 for Pleasant Grove. Rasmussen still limping on that knee a little bit.
Trying to walk it off. They might just need to take I don't know if they should take a timeout. They don't have many of those left.
They only have 1 remaining with 10-12 left here in the second quarter.
He might need a second. T-Walk, he's the mastermind of this offense and defense. I'm not exactly sure what coordinator
I totally understand being upset about this, about that late hit.
He's definitely come into PG and made this football program a winning one.
As Carson takes a snap, looks right, throws a screen pass, and he's now intercepted. And to a Wolfgram, Carson Rasmussen does just enough to slow down.
And looks like there's a fight for the ball.
As they're pointing Lehi's way.
Tua tried to get the fumble.
That's very similar.
To get a fumble, and it did not work out. Yeah.
It's very similar to what happened on Pleasant Grove's pick 6. The Vikings ran a screenplay. It was read very, very well by Grayson Brousseau.
Yeah. Many a boos coming from this side of the stadium. We're still upset about that late hit.
We'll see.
On Carson.
Yeah, and again, like I said, that's totally understandable. I'm not completely sure why there wasn't a flag thrown. It was a late hit at the end of the play. But here's Niu. As he takes the snap, now he's looking left, looking over the middle. Now he's looking right. As that pass is incomplete. And there's a late flag.
Looks like that's me pass interference by the defense.
Yeah, it's a late flag in the secondary with 9:54 here in the second quarter.
I could either see pass interference or defensive holding if they're going to call it on the Vikings. But it does look like there was grabbing on either side of that.
It is a pass interference on Pleasant Grove, and this Vikings fan base is extremely upset.
Yeah.
As that's going to move them to the 10-yard line.
I don't know if it's half a distance, but considerably closer.
It's a big penalty. As 1st down and 10. Niu's going to have a split back.
Could see a run here.
The Twins on his right side. Vikings show blitz, they do blitz. As here is Aka.
Speed back, who's not going anywhere. That's Riker on the tackle.
Riker followed him all the way across the line of scrimmage, and maybe a gain of 1 or 2 by Aka.
I believe it'd be a gain of 2. But it just shows you how athletic Riker can be when he needs to.
Yeah, 9:32 here in this second quarter. 2nd down and about 8.
Lehi looking to again tie it up. They've had some fortunate series of events to get closer to the end zone and in a better position to score.
Niu takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Leitu. Leitu is going to get laid out. Down the sideline. It was Bronco Winterton. That was Aka?
I believe it was Aka on the run there.
So 3rd down and about 3. As this would be a big stop for Pleasant Grove.
I would see another run here.
Would also not be surprised if this is 4-down territory for the Pioneers.
Leitu is going to come back in, and he is the power back. You can see them try to punch this in. This is the same formation they had when he had that breakout run.
So here's Niu.
Early.
Niu takes the snap. He is going to hand it off. And being stopped. Did he get the 1st down? They're not going to give it to him.
That'll be 4th down.
It's going to be 4th down and very short. I don't expect Lehi to send out the kick team. Doesn't look like they will. Looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field.
Another run.
So here's a big 4th and short.
PG has done very good on stopping teams who go for it on 4th down.
Okay, there we go. The down marker on the opposite side of the field was a little confused. As this Vikings side of the stadium gets really loud. Here's Niu in the shotgun, single back.
Pinch line for this defense.
Niu takes the snap. He's going to hand it off, and Aka gets in. Excuse me, that was Leitu. Gets in for the 2-yard score, so it's 20-21 now.
We are almost all tied up, but extra points never are guaranteed. We'll see what happens here.
As just like that, we have a whole brand new ball game here.
It has been a roller coaster of events. both teams have had full momentum going their way and against them already in this first half.
As Carson Rasmussen for the Vikings, as that kick is through. Carson Rasmussen is standing on the sideline next to his coaches, so.
He looks like he's going to be okay to play, which is a sigh of relief you could hear from the AF Skyridge game also in the Valley from this Vikings sidelines.
.8:19 here in the second quarter. As a man whose name we've called a lot tonight, Gavin Fenn.
He's ready to kick this ball out and out again. Looks like our score is still the same for our AF Skyridge game. It was 15, but they bumped it down to 14. Must have gone for 2, gotten it, but been called back. And then Lone Peak and Westlake is all tied up at 7.
As Fenn boots that one into the end zone. That's not a surprise after what we've seen.
Yeah, those games are both still in the first quarter.
So 8:19 here in the second quarter. We're all knotted up at 21.
Vikings offense looking to come back out.
I'd have to imagine this is by far the highest scoring half in any Pleasant Grove game this season.
Yeah. That drive ended abruptly after Carson was shaken up. It didn't really go anywhere from there. We'll see what happens here.
Carson's back out. He's going to hand it off. And there's a good move by Matt Morris. That's a guy who we haven't seen going in a couple weeks.
Yeah, he's been quiet for a little bit, but great ball carrier vision there. And he was able to weave through that defense.
So you saw him jump through that hole on the right side of the line. That's just beautiful.
Yeah. Looks like Lone Peak just scored. They are up. They have yet to kick the extra point. But
Carson with Twins on the left side.
that is now the updated score.
There's Rasmussen. And, flag's going to be thrown. It's going to be another false start on Pleasant Grove.
Wait. Lone Peak doesn't have yet to kick the extra point. They did miss the extra point. Anyways, back to this game.
So that's going to move them back 5 yards. So 2nd down and 7 for this Pleasant Grove team now.
Yeah, Vikings struggling when they're deep in their own territory to get the line to stay still.
Rasmussen takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Wolfgram. Wolfgram bumps it upfield. Man, oh man, has Wolfgram been electric today. All the way to the 40-yard line.
Looks like a
Tua.
gain of 13 there on the run. I don't know who our running back coach is, but let's just say they know how to do their job and do it well, because that was amazing running back-to-back plays.
Rasmussen takes the snap. They're going to give it right back to Wolfgram. Wolfgram makes a man miss. Gets a gain of 5 and more. He breaks a tackle. A gain of 8 for Tua. Man, Tua Wolfgram. He already has 2 of those touchdowns.
Tua,
and
you need to calm down because you're getting too loud. This is crazy.
Oh,
just
my
electric.
goodness.
Like maybe even Zeus with his, just look at his fingertips. You might see some sparks in between those.
Rasmussen
He knows how to turn up the heat.
throws a quick pass, and it's incomplete to James Clark. It's going to be 3rd down and 2. As the Vikings are just short of the timeline. 6:57 remaining in the second quarter.
It'll be 3rd down and very manageable. We'll see what the Vikings do here. I would guess pass play, but I would not be surprised to see a run play. But it does look like Lehi's blitzing.
Rasmussen is going to hand it off to Morris, and Morris barrels through.
Both teams running the ball very well.
As Kel McCoy and Ozzie Williams are getting a little chippy.
Well, two
We'll
very,
see.
very physical teams. I don't think we have any bad blood with Lehi.
As Morris cuts that one upfield for a big gain, and the Vikings are running it down the Pioneer throats.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any bad blood between the two teams, but maybe tonight there is.
As there is an injured Pioneer.
find out who the hell PG is. We're gonna send a message.
So being helped off the field for the Pioneers is number 32, Fua Paunamama, the defensive end, the 6'2" junior.
It's like brother to Isaiah Mama. Isaiah Mama, it's just one of those cool names. I don't know.
As we wish him the best.
Yeah, he looks like he's doing all right. A little shaken up, probably in some pain, but if he's walking by himself, that's a good sign.
And now the Vikings offense back on the field.
2nd down and 4.
The 41-yard line. Rasmussen takes a snap. They're going to hand it off to Morris once again. And a gain of about 2.
Morris is finding his legs here tonight. He hasn't really been able to do that so far this season.
As Morris deserves a lot of credit for that, but as well as the Vikings offensive line.
Yeah.
That's a group of kids we haven't called out in a long time, and they deserve the shout out tonight, at least with what we've seen so far. Carson gets the Pioneers to jump. It's going to be a Vikings first down.
As got a wide receiver tying his shoe. So I guess it's lucky we got a jump there because Sean Cottle was not ready to go anywhere.
As the Vikings offensive line, as I'm trying to pull apart the paper that has all the offensive linemen on it. Number 58 for Pleasant Grove, Thatcher Kuhn. 55, Lucas Jackson, and he's the Vikings' big recruit, Lucas Jackson. He's got some offers from some schools around the nation. As Rasmussen takes a snap.
I had activities with him last year, and he was a fun guy to have around. He's just a big old teddy bear.
That pass was almost jumped by
always on his face.
Ozzie Williams. As well for the Vikings playing center is Miles Williams. Then there's Tread Powell, and I'm missing one guy. Quade Coombs are your 5 Vikings offensive linemen. We don't shout the offensive line out enough in football. They do a lot of work that goes unnoticed. As Carson goes under center in the ISO formation, Vikings are going to hand it off as Morris gets ripped down in the backfield.
By Fotu, or not Fotu.
Kolosi Letu.
Letu, they're running back against our running back. He had the upper hand in that one. And
now it's going to be a 3rd down and 10.
A little interesting to have your running back play middle linebacker, but I mean, it makes sense considering the fact that he can run through a ton of people.
So Carson heads out to the huddle. Ace formation with Morris on his left hip. Lehi loads the box a little bit. Rasmussen now. Rasmussen dancing around, making some magic, and the forward flip.
I've never seen a shovel pass
go 8 yards.
That was crazy. Dale McCoy caught it there.
I think this puts the Vikings into 4-down territory, so it's going to be a 4th down.
There was some holding there on the Vikings, but looks like they haven't really called it either way, except for early on in the game.
Vikings go hurry up. Carson tries to get the Pioneers to jump off sides.
Looks like they might blitz here. They got a stacked box, but
I think they're just defending against the run.
Yeah, Vikings in a position to run it.
Rasmussen going to take it himself, and he's not going to get it. He gets about a yard, maybe half a yard.
That was on 4th down.
That was 4th down, and we're waiting for a signal, but I think the ball is going to go back to the Pioneers, and it is. So a big stop on 4th down, 4:13 remaining here in the first half. Now the Vikings need a stop. The Pioneers get the ball back in the second half. So the Vikings defense looking to make some more noise. As Neal leads his offense back on the field, he's going to have Aka in the backfield with him.
That is their speed back.
Neal takes a snap, throws a screen, pass is caught, and he's going to make a couple Vikings miss.
Dale McCoy tried to push his blocker, or his block E, I guess.
There's a flag. I think it's going to be a holding.
Tried to push his block E into the wide receiver, and he just about did it.
It was getting blocked by West Morrow, and West Morrow is tagged for the holding.
That's going to go 10 yards in the wrong direction.
So Gabe McCoy did a great job on that play. The last thing you want to have a wide receiver do, especially on a screen pass, is find the edge, find the sideline. And Gabe McCoy did a great job of sealing that off and forcing him back inside. So Gabe McCoy with a great defensive play. Now it's going to be 2nd down and 20. The Pioneers get backed up to the 16-yard line. Their line to gain is the 34. So excuse me, they're at the 14, not the 16. 4 minutes left on this clock for the first half. As the Pioneers break the huddle, Niu's going to have trips out to the right side. Twins on the left side, so it's an empty set. Jet Niu takes a snap, looks left, throws quickly, and the pass is caught. Bronco Winterton brings the receiver down. It was number 4, Mays Madsen, whose name we've called a lot today.
He had that opening touchdown tonight.
Mays Madsen is the Pioneers' leading receiver on the season. Coming into this game, he had 26 catches for 366 yards and 4 touchdowns. So 2nd down and 8. As Niu trips on the right side, single back on his left hip.
Both quarterbacks playing extremely well tonight.
Niu takes a snap, throws a screen pass out wide.
He's found the edge.
As a great tackle.
See if they give him the first down. It looks like they will. In the spot that I can see, that's going to be a first down. Clock ticking. I guess the clock doesn't tick until they set the poles or the
chains.
The chains, yeah, that's what it is.
The 35-yard line. Niu in the ace formation once again, with the running back on his right hip. Vikings very weak in the box.
Yeah, looking to defend the pass, which is what happens.
Oh, and almost intercepted. Just an overthrow by Niu. And not being able to get his hands tightly around it is Bronco Winterton. Bronco Winterton with the game-winning touchdown last week against Skyridge. That was his only catch for 12 yards and 6 points, which put the Vikings up by 3.
That's all he needed, really.
The Vikings are sure grateful for it.
Yeah.
As Niu, same formation, Vikings show blitz, and they do blitz. The handoff for a gain of about 3 or 4.
Niu, because he would have held on to that, Riker would have put him in his grave.
So it's going to be about a 3rd down and 7. Wasn't a super successful run for the Pioneers, but makes the 3rd down a little more manageable.
Yep. Look here for a pass play, although they do have feedback in. If they want to give him a stretch, it could work, but not something that would make much sense.
As a big 3rd down here, 3rd and 7, Niu. Same formation, running back on his right hip this time. Takes a snap, looks pass, looks left, throws left, and the pass is caught wide open in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
and the hurdle.
And a move. Wow, this tight end's got some
As there's
legs.
Late flags, and a lot of them. For the Pioneers, that was Grayson Brasseau.
He is a talented tight end.
Holy cow,
and
you don't see a tight end.
Man. You've seen him a lot more now than you used to, but yeah, apparently there's a tight end university who's been holding hurdle classes.
As Lehi's walking way back. And I'm not sure what this penalty is, but there were 2 flags thrown on the play, both in the same area.
From what I saw, I don't think there was any penalties.
It was a personal foul on Lehi. I'm not sure what it was, but that's going to make, I think that's going to keep it 3rd down.
They'll go back to where they were.
They get it. Technically a gain of 2 on that play. I think it's 15 yards from the spot of the foul.
Not exactly sure how that happened. Didn't see anything unsportsmanlike, but that is what happened. I guess it was a personal foul, but.
As now the refs will have a discussion. I think this might be about the clock, but. Oh, this is me looking exactly like Aaron Judge. Look at the batting stance and then look at the swing. Like you can see that we are like basically the same person.
I didn't see any differences.
I don't want to compare myself to like the American League MVP, 62 home runs in one season. That's an American League record, but I think the stances looked pretty similar.
Honestly,
the skill level probably isn't very close. But
you might be able to hit it over the nets of these Topgolf airs, but if you ask me, that was the same picture. It's the same picture.
As it is, I think, going to be 3rd down and 5. The refs are still talking to Coach Larson on that Lehi sideline. And now the refs are going to have a conference over the ball. I think it might have something to do with the clock. It might have something to do with what down it is. I genuinely have no clue what this might be about, but.
Anyways.
The clock is going to run. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 from the 40-yard line, so the Vikings get a second chance.
Under a minute and a half.
As Neal takes a snap, looks left. Vikings blitz. Vikings blitz a lot. Catch is made, and the tackle is made.
Wow.
Sean Cottle. Holy cow. Maze Madsen, you just got rocked.
Ran through him like he was a ghost. That was crazy.
Watch this tackle by Sean Cottle. He just lowers the shoulder. Vikings sent Wolfgram on the blitz, and Sean read the blitz, came up.
That is
Excuse me, he read the screen, came up, just lowered his shoulder.
Looks like Vikings will let the clock run so they have a timeout when they're on offense.
I don't like that move.
It is definitely an interesting one.
I think now you're going to get the ball with 30 seconds. You're basically conceding. You'll take the 21-21 game into halftime, which, you know, it's not a bad situation to be in. As Lehi runs the play clock all the way down to 0 and then calls a timeout. So an explosive first quarter, a little bit less explosive in the second half, in the second quarter, excuse me.
42 points up on the scoreboard.
To update everyone, Franson is on crutches and has ice around his right leg. So
to update the scores around the league, Falcons put some points on the board against the Cavemen. It is 6-14, and Lone Peak continues to put points on the board. It is now 21-7 for the Knights.
Not too surprised by that result.
Nope. Unfortunately, Westlake is again not having themselves the day.
So the Vikings with one timeout and 29.5 seconds remaining. We'll see if the Vikings do try to run some plays on offense or if they just take a knee with Carson and go into the break tied up at 21. I don't think there's necessarily a right or a wrong decision here. Judging the decision will all be hindsight, just seeing what happens. So, as there's a high snap, as now the Vikings are rushed, as it's a fake, and the Vikings are going to be so glad that they kept that timeout. They have the ball at the 27-yard line with 20 seconds left.
I understand that fake punt went horribly wrong.
It wasn't a fake. I'm just going to lay it down.
Punt went terribly wrong, but Gavin Fenn, a little bit of a cannon there. Threw a little bit of a laser there to, I think it was the tight end.
Yeah, that was not
that is
Grayson Brousseau.
Grayson Brousseau.
The name Kimball loves. But
yeah,
There was absolutely no way that was a fake. That was just a bad snap, and then, Fenn did what he could.
And he threw a pretty good pass for a punter.
He did the.
He completed
you
a
really
pass.
couldn't have asked for more from a punter who's kind of rattled with
Yeah.
Riker Mickelson and a bunch of other Vikings running at his face. As now the Vikings are going to really run some offensive plays. Here's Rasmussen rolling out to the right, still hobbling around a little bit, as now he's going to get sacked in a late flag.
I'm guessing it could be a holding penalty, but it looks like a timeout will be called on by the Vikings.
Could be a holding. There also is a chance that it's a face mask, but I think holding's probably the best bet.
Looks like Vikings just trying to get some yards downfield.
It is a holding on Pleasant Grove.
Get first down still.
11.7 remaining here in this first half.
You're going to have to put some yards, probably get their kicker into a more comfortable position to maybe kick a field goal to go ahead. So they still have their timeout.
I think they might take a shot towards the end zone here. As the Vikings aren't going to call it, and now they do call a timeout. I think Coach Walkenhorst might be a little confused. Like you said, I think he tried to call a timeout.
Yeah.
And then just didn't get called. So the Vikings have one more play left in this half. So they're
3.1 seconds. If the offensive line can hold, I think that's enough time for Carson to throw a bomb to the end zone.
We'll see what the Vikings try here on what's technically first down and 20, but is really just, their last shot.
Really just first and goal from Lehi's 37.
As now the refs are going to have the teams break up their huddles. So we've had a great first half here.
Yeah.
All knotted up at 21 for now. There is still 3 takes left on the clock, but assuming we go into halftime with this score, I think both teams are very happy and very upset with, a couple things on both sides for each team. The Vikings' running game has been very, very good. And then with Lehi, they're probably a little frustrated with the way that their defense is played at times, and then Neo with the 2 interceptions. As the Vikings are going to run a draw, here's Wolfgram. He's going to try and explode, and he's brought down by a host of Pioneers. So that's going to take us into the half, and now there's some extracurricular activity. There's some flags between Cale McCoy and Ozzie Williams.
Looks like there's some raw emotion out there. Unfortunately, I believe that's going to be on Cal because pushing and shoving is okay, but whoever throws the first punch, that's who the flag gets called on.
And I think that's going to bring both teams back out here. Unless
if they do call it on both teams, I believe
there will be an untimed down for Pleasant Grove. So if it's just called on Pleasant Grove, then Lehi can decline it and the half will end. If it's just called on Lehi, then Pleasant Grove will take their 15 yards and take another play.
Probably kick a field goal.
Yeah, likely.
At least that's what I would do. I don't know. I'm not T-Walk.
But
who knows what goes on inside that guy's head?
I think they'll run one on both players, but here's the call. It does go against Cale McCoy, and that penalty will be declined, so that'll take us into halftime. It's 21-21. We've had an explosive first half, and boy, has it been a good one. But we're going to take you to our PG High School Players Spotlight. And this week, it's the head commentator here at PGSN. See for yourself.
Yeah, that's what.
PGSN are just to, provide the best streams we can every week for Pleasant Grove and the sports, and just kind of letting everyone see what Pleasant Grove's about. Some of my personal goals are, here at PGSN is just to be the best commentator I can and explain everything that happens and kind of let everyone know and have everyone understand what's going on and just love the sport that much more. And then in life, it's just, this is what I want to do when I grow up and get older as well. So it's what I'm going to college for next year, just head commentator now and head commentator later. Some of my hobbies, I'm a big sports guy. I love playing sports. I love watching sports. It's really what my world kind of revolves around most of the time. So I watch a lot of NFL. I watch a lot of college football. So sports. Browns.
Favorite?
Core subject, my favorite subject is probably math. Overall, it's probably this sports broadcasting class. My favorite spot we've grubbed this season for PGSN, we grub after every game. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings after the Skyridge win last week, and that was some immaculate grub. Favorite scene from anything is Aaron Judge's 60-second home run in Texas last season, and my future favorite scene is when the Yankees win their 28th World Series next season. My favorite thing about Pleasant Grove is just how good the school is. Really no other schools in the state have a G on the mountain, a broadcasting class, a radio class, all these opportunities to do what you love at the school. So I really love Pleasant Grove High School. I would rather go hiking. I hiked Timp with some of the boys from PGSN this year, and that was really fun. It was fun to be spontaneous. I have 4 siblings. I have 3 older sisters and a younger twin brother, but I'm older than him. To watch, I really love watching football. I really love watching baseball, and then I really like to play baseball, basketball, football, just really anything. I just love sports.
Find out who the hell PG is. We're gonna send a message to the whole damn state. Every single play, bring it to them. Hit them in the face. Make a decision right now. We're gonna win this football game. Let's get it done. Let's go.
Moving things in a mind. What's a mind to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer who don't believe in anything?
Pressure coming. Stevens goes down. Riker Mickelson for the Vikings. Oh, fumble on the play. Going to be PG football. Pressure coming. Lofts it up top. He's got Mackay Peterson. They called him short, and Rasmussen finishes the deal, and PG's on the board.
It's the undefeated Falcons with a 20-7 lead as we head to the 4th quarter.
I don't care how it started. I care how you finish.
Rasmussen dragged down. Oh, we have an injured player, and it is Rasmussen.
We don't lose. Find a way to get it done by any means necessary.
As Stevens will back off and get the call. A quick snap. Ball's on the ground. Vikings hold. 7:50 to go in the game. You would think the Vikings need to get something going here on offense. Vikings send a man in motion. Rasmussen. It's Wolfgren. Wide open on the far side. One man to beat. Touchdown. Pleasant Grove. 70 yards, and the Vikings are back in it.
Carson Rasmussen will not go down easy.
3rd and long now for PG. Rasmussen back to throw once again, taking the deep shot, has him in!
2nd and 6 from the 11. Rasmussen, quick shot, looking near side, and he's got it. What a catch! Mackay Peterson. The kick is up, and it is good, and the Pleasant Grove Vikings lead 21-20 with 5:21 to go.
Massive gear shift for this Skyridge offense.
Stevens, bubble screen, McClellan, touchdown, Skyridge! Skyridge has a 7-point lead.
1:52 left. Now for Pleasant Grove, this is it. There's a little bit of magic left in Carson Rasmussen in this PG offense.
Rasmussen gonna take a shot. Has McCoy. He makes the catch. Cale McCoy into the red zone. Rasmussen, quick throw. Has his man Wolfgram. Touchdown Vikings.
Carson Rasmussen can barely walk, and yet he's able to find Wolfgram.
We're going to overtime, Brian. Hold is good, kick is away, and it is good. Foxton Dovey puts 3 on the board, and Skyridge takes a 31-28 lead. PG up next on offense. Rasmussen back to throw, fires end zone. It's caught! It's caught! Bronco Winterton wins it for the Vikings. Carson Rasmussen to Bronco Winterton, 12 yards, touchdown, Vikings win.
So that was your edit by Josh Hanks, our PGSN alum. That was from his Instagram at Hanksta, HANKSTA .gangsta, GANGASTA.
It is pronounced alumni, but we'll skip over that fact. Marching band and color guard now doing look like an Alice in Wonderland themed dance out there.
We'll let you guys listen into that.
I'm afraid so. You're entirely bonkers. But I'll tell you a secret. All the best people are.
As we welcome you into our broadcast booth, I have a little bit of a different look today. I am deathly ill, and these glasses keep me from getting a headache.
Exaggerated.
So, but just to recap the first half, there was a really short touchdown pass by Skyridge to open up the Skyridge. That's not who we're playing this week. Lehi
Yeah.
to make the scoring 7-0, and then the Vikings had a 21-0 run. There was a Carson to Tanner Blake touchdown pass, a Tua Wolfgram pick 6, and then Tua got 2 of those with a 70-plus yard rush touchdown. And then Skyridge started to fight back.
Skyridge, it is Lehi.
Lehigh, the Pioneers started to fight back.
Yeah, 14-point run for them to end the half. We were tied at 21, 42 points in a first half in a high school football game is unheard of.
And there was a little bit of a chippiness towards the end between Kel McCoy and Ozzie Williams for the Vikings and the Pioneers. We'll see if that comes back to be a factor in the second half or what happens with that. But hopefully we can have some disciplined football. The Vikings have struggled a little bit with the discipline. They've had a couple penalties that they really shouldn't have taken, a couple false starts, a couple issues that might come back to bite them towards the end if they continue to do what they have been doing. So locking up on that, on those penalties and fixing that.
Stabbing yourself in the foot and you're close to your own end zone. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and both teams, I thought it was interesting. Lehigh tried to throw a screen pass, and that was how Tua Wolfgram got his pick 6. He read it perfectly, picked it off, took it all the way to the house. And then Pleasant Grove tried the same thing. They tried to run a screen pass, and Skyridge had a player who jumped it, and that brought them to make the score. Well, that got them an interception. So
could show Lehigh something, but they turned out to help Lehigh there, unfortunately.
Yeah, so second half, what are you looking for keys in the second half, Kimball?
I think defense probably need to play a little more consistently on both sides of the ball. They have played really well, PGs especially, with the pick to open up their defensive
the first
side.
play from scrimmage for the Pioneers was picked off.
And then they had Tua's pick 6. So I think the Vikings defense is good. They've played great, but they need to play more consistently and stop letting deep passes and open wide receivers happen. Lehigh, they've done okay.
Yeah, Lehigh's played a great game, both defensively and offensively. Jet Niu has played really well from that quarterback position. He has made a couple mistakes, like you were saying, those 2 interceptions. I think if Pleasant Grove really wants to take command of this game early, they got to get a couple more turnovers. They already have 2 turnovers in this game, the 2 interceptions, but this Pleasant Grove defense has done such a good job at forcing fumbles, and I think that's something that they should look to do in the second half if they really want to take control of this game early.
Lehigh just needs to play a little bit more consistent offense, and I think this is being a tight game like it was in the first half once again.
So 21-21 is your score at halftime. Vikings Pioneers. We'll have our admin spotlight today. It's our principal, someone you might recognize, John Hanks.
Yeah.
Personal goals, I would like to get to know the students better. I've always wanted to do more of that and get to know individually. It's hard to know over 2,000 students by name, but I would like to be able to have as many personal interactions and get to know as many students as I possibly can. As a school, the school goals that we have are to create an environment and a school where students feel welcome, where students feel safe, and when the learning environment in the classrooms and in the hallways is one that students want to be a part of. So basically make PG High the best possible school where students want to be here and they want to learn. Well, this is my 24th year in education and I love it, and I want to continue my career and finish my career making a difference in the lives of students and in the world of education. I love my family, so I want to spend time with my family as much as I can. And I just want to be an influence on others. With kids still young and at home, my hobbies are centered around them. So I've gone to a lot of sporting events with my kids, basketball, soccer. We've spent a lot of time in the stands cheering for the kids, and so I would say that consumes most of my free time, so I would consider that my hobby. Well, I taught math for 12 years, loved it. I wanted to be a math teacher since my senior year in high school. I was inspired by a great math teacher way back when, and if I could have taught something different, I probably would have taught history. I've become very interested in U.S. history and Revolutionary War and presidents, and that's interesting to me, so if not math, I would choose history. We have a unique tradition at our house. With birthdays, we like to eat steak and artichokes. So I like a lot of food. Artichokes aren't necessarily my number one favorite, but that would be a unique thing that we eat a lot at Hank's house is artichokes. I remember watching Infinity War, and at the end of Infinity War, where the snap, that was Infinity War, right? Yeah. So the end of Infinity War with the snap, I remember just being blown away, like in silence, when half of the Avengers went up in smoke. And so that was pretty dramatic scene. I really enjoyed that scene. I love the community. I love the students. I love living in the community. I see students in school, out of school, same with teachers. I see a lot of teachers outside of school, and I love the close-knit nature of the Pleasant Grove community, and I love, over time, becoming more part of that community, getting to know people and the connections that exist here at Pleasant Grove. Hiking, without a doubt. I love hiking. I don't do as much of it as I would like to do, but especially right here in Pleasant Grove, there's so many good hikes to do up to the G and the Battle Creek Overlook and Baldy and Timpanogos, and so I love getting away and getting up high and looking over and getting a little perspective from getting away from things. I would have to say basketball. I played more basketball in my life in high school than other sports, and I've watched a lot of basketball, and I love football and I love soccer. I love watching all the sports, but basketball probably would be my top one.
Okay, awesome. And then
well, it would have to be math. I loved teaching. AP Calculus was amazing. I loved it. loved teaching that. I loved the connections that brought. I loved the challenge of trying to make it something that students could understand. And so my heart.
All right, this is the one and only John Hanks here in the booth.
I'm here.
Yeah.
There and here.
Yeah. What have you liked about the game so far?
It's been fun. There's a lot going on down there. The team's playing hard.
Yeah.
It's exciting, for sure.
Yeah. Well, looks like we'll have another interesting half where thank you for coming up.
Yeah, so, you know, I worked at Lehi for 6 years.
Oh.
I'm true blue right now, but I do love the
Got some
Pioneers.
purple
If
in
there's
ya.
any Pioneers watching, we love you guys. My time there was awesome. It's kind of weird to see purple on the field now. I love it. It brought back a lot of good memories.
Yeah.
But, yeah, great first half. Be a good second half, too.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. All right.
Welcome back to the second half. Vikings, Pioneers. We're knotted up at 21 here, and we've got an exciting second half to play. Vikings are going to be kicking 15 yards back after the personal foul penalty to end the last half. I'm not sure that's how it works, but that's how it works here.
That's how it works in high school.
There are a lot of differences in high school and other levels, so it's a little bit of a squib kick. It's going to go out of bounds just short of the 20. I think Pleasant Grove's perfectly fine with that result.
Yep. You want my jacket?
I'm really cold.
You want my jacket?
Hopefully these offenses can heat up and get a little bit of heat up here in the booth.
To be
so
the smart one here and bring a jacket.
I didn't know we were wearing suits today, so I look underdressed and I'm freezing.
That's why they invented long sleeve shirts. Anyways, well,
second half here.
Lehi will take it
As
at their own 20.
the Vikings kicking team is coming back out.
Okay.
I'm not sure what happened, but it's high school football, so.
Yep, that's what's happening.
Did they move them back 5 yards?
I don't think so. On the kicking team?
Was an offsides on the kicking team.
And
so now they're kicking from the 20-yard line.
As you do.
You almost never see teams kick from this deep in their own territory. As Rockwell Doman is now tasked to try and boom this one.
He might take a couple extra steps back. I don't know how much it will help him, though, but.
As that's a good kick. All the way to about the 13-yard line. The Vikings still have a lot of ground to make up on the coverage. Trevor Braby can't make the tackle, but a flag is thrown. Still dancing down the sideline of the Pioneers, and still dancing all the way inside the 45-yard line. There is a flag back at the 46-yard line on the other side of the field, though.
What a boot and what a return. That was a fun special team.
That was football magic right there, but I think that one might go back 10 yards. And it will go back 10 yards. It's going to be a holding on the receiving team, so.
You know, I always get those calls in Madden, and every time I'm like, this game's fixed, bro. What the frick? What in the cryptocurrency are they paying the refs in this game? It's silly.
But the ball will be moved to the 32-yard line, which is a really good kick for Rockwell Doman.
Considering that's like a boot and a half. Like if you would have
kicking it from his own 20.
If you would have kicked that from the 40, it probably would have hit the goalpost.
As here is Jet New and the Pioneer offense looking to get something going here.
Maybe a little more consistent on offense this time. 2 picks and a pick 6 is not the best way.
As Neo takes a snap, they're going to open up with a run, and it's a big one. It's a gain of about 9 on first down to make it 2nd down and 1. The run was by Devon Aka.
Yeah, Lehi having a little bit better yards per carry, but PG making the bigger plays overall with the 70-yard sprint by Tua. I don't even know how he stays in both sides of the ball.
It's absolutely unreal.
Hustle himself.
Here's Neo, 2nd and short from inside the 40s. You might see a shot here. Neo takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. They're going to play conservative, and here's Aka. Aka gets going inside the 45 now.
Tackled by Makai Peterson there.
So it only took the Pioneers 2 plays to get back to where they were.
Without the penalty.
So here's at the 41, 1st down and 10 for this high-powered Pioneer offense coming out of the break. Neo has twins on the left side. As Neo takes the snap, he's going to hand it off to counter, and a small gain of 1 or 2 or 3. They call it 3, so 2nd down and 7.
By Trevin Gates.
Number 44. 2nd down and 7 as the Vikings get their first, big stop, or actually really stop at all here in the second half.
Yeah.
We're about
first
2 minutes in.
For the Pioneers under 5 yards this half. Already 2 minutes off the clock. That's something we didn't get to enjoy in the first quarter. That lasted for about an hour and a half.
Here's Neo, takes a snap, looks left, throws left, pass is caught, and Sean Cottle will make the tackle. Just short of the first down is Caleb Moore. It's going to be a 3rd down and a long 1 or 2. Looks like it's going to be 2.
A short 2.
So the Pioneers looking, you'd expect them to maybe be in 4-down territory, but with the way that Gavin Fenn has been kicking the ball, I think he might have the leg to hit a field goal from this distance. We'll see the result of this play as Niu's going to hand it off. And Bronco blitzed to the gap, and he could not get through. As there's a touchdown for the Pioneers. That was, in all honesty, a missed holding call down the sideline. Gabe McCoy's not happy about it. The Pioneers are happy that they just put 6 up on the scoreboard, 27-21. Less than 3 minutes here in the first quarter, and the Vikings fans are not happy at that missed call.
Definitely interesting there, because usually you're like, maybe the refs can see it better than we can, but right there, you could see his shoulder pads by his neck. That's not how the jersey's supposed to fit. I believe that
there is a late penalty. It's probably going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct on Pleasant Grove. They were rather upset about that call, but they might. Oh, they're asking Pleasant Grove if they want to enforce the penalty on the kick or the kickoff. So it was some extracurricular activity by the Pioneers. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct on Lehi, so they're going to kick from their 25.
Well, that doesn't
the touchdown still stands.
A ton of sense to score a touchdown and then get called for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe we will
some interesting
some rivalry tonight.
But here we are, 27-21. Gavin Fenn, looking for the PAT to put him up 7. Because all the PATs are about 20-yard kicks. Fenn boots it through. So 28-21 is your score. Not quite 3 minutes into the second half and the third quarter.
Like lightning strike, we have a touchdown on the board already.
And again, not a ton of happiness on that Pleasant Grove sideline after that, what they thought was a missed holding call.
And most people, I believe, but could be speculation.
That's another big play here in this game. We've seen a lot of those. As I mentioned earlier, the Pioneers are going to kick from the 25-yard line. So the Vikings will probably get a chance to receive, but they only send Cale McCoy and Riker Mickelson out 5 yards from the back of their end zone.
I don't know. With the way that their kicker's been booting this thing, it might go into the end zone.
It's Gavin Fenn, who's done a great job off the tee.
I don't know. Can he put an extra 15 yards distance on it to put it in the back of the end zone?
We will see. Here is Fenn from the 25-yard line. As that one's going to be a line drive that's caught by Riker Mickelson, so he's going to get a chance to return. He's past the 20, and he gets to about the 30-yard line, just inside the 30-yard line before being dragged down by a Pioneer. Was number 12, Justice Cooper, who made the tackle.
He also has a touchdown pass caught.
He does. He had a 75-yard touchdown in the second quarter.
That is some versatility in a player.
And that makes it the Vikings' turn to be on offense. Rasmussen looking for the equalizer here on this drive. Matt Morris is going to be his mate in the backfield.
Yeah, I don't believe Aiden Franson is going to come back in this game.
You're going to see a heavy dosage of Matt Morris and Tua Wolfgram for the remainder of this one.
Yeah.
Cale McCoy goes in motion. Carson takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Morris going up the middle. Morris gets a gain of about 1. They are going to give him 1. So it's going to be 2nd down and 9 from the 32.
I'd like to update the scores for you guys across the valley. The Cavemen are still up on the Falcons, 17-6. And I believe Lone Peak is still on top of the Thunder.
As Rasmussen dancing around in the pocket now, looking for somewhere to throw it, and he's just going to throw it out of bounds.
The Knights are still up 2 scores over the Westlake Thunder, 21-7.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 9 now. The Vikings offense starting out a little slow.
They did start slow in the first half as well. Maybe need to get the legs running again. It is a bit of a crisp October afternoon.
Trust me, I know. Twins on the left side, and then a single wide receiver, Tanner Blake, at the bottom of your screen. The right side for Carson, and then a split back. Carson, Rasmussen takes the snap, looks right, throws right. He's going deep. Tanner Blake didn't haul it in. So it's going to be 4th down and 9. That was a good read by Carson. Good job by Blake to come off that corner and give himself a chance at that ball. Couldn't quite get there.
Yeah.
So 4th down and 9. Gabe McCoy has had a couple close calls here. As he gets that one off pretty clean, and it's a boot. And it's fielded about the 30. As there's another flag. That's deep in where the return was made. There's 3, actually. 1 at the 40, 1 at the 44, and 1 at the 45. So I think there might have been a penalty on that play, Kimball.
Maybe.
Pleasant Grove might get lucky and have another call on the Pioneers to negate a big return. That's something that Lehi has done so well. And Lehi, I'm pretty sure they think it's on them because they're got their offense getting ready all the way down at the 25. So it is an illegal block in the back on the Pioneers. So that's a spot of the foul penalty.
Well, that's a 10-yard penalty as well.
And that's just another mistake by Lehi.
Well, mistakes have not stopped them so far this game.
They've lost themselves a lot of yards on these penalties. The Pleasant Grove Vikings are hoping they can take advantage of them at some point.
A lot of penalties today, but the scoreboard does not reflect that at all. So we have 49 points.
Here's Niu. Vikings show blitz. They do blitz. And they get through. Wide open. And the pass is incomplete. No flags thrown. And that was Gabe McCoy on the coverage. Isaiah Mama was not happy about that, and neither is the Pioneer student section.
I understand where they're coming from. I really do. But he kind of tripped by himself and ended up on the ground. So I think contact after that is kind of
the best call you can kind of try and think is that the refs decided there was equal contact between both players, and it kind of resulted in both of them being hurt. So
yeah.
Again, the call was made. We can't do anything but speculate.
Yeah.
So 2nd down and 10 as Niu got hit towards the end of that play. The Vikings brought 7 or 8.
Yeah. Yeah. See what they can do here. Refs talking a little bit. Looks like they're getting stuff set up with this 2nd down and 10.
As there's a run up the middle for a gain of about 3 or 4. It's going to be 4. So it's going to be 3rd down and 6. Vikings could badly use a stop here. I know I keep saying that, but
it keeps being true, so.
Yeah.
Oh, well. And as we look at the student section again, it has grown again since we looked at it in the first half.
Here's
so has Lehi's.
Here's Niu, takes a snap, play action. He's looking left, continues to look deep. Now he kind of steps up in the pocket, and it's incomplete. The pass was intended for number 11, Caleb Moore. We've seen him targeted a lot today, and he was also not happy with.
Lehi's refs a little, Lehi's coach is a little disappointed there. I can see that one more than the one earlier. That definitely looked a little bit of passing, shoving, but the wide receiver had a chance to catch the ball, and it just slipped through his fingertips.
Caleb Moore had 3 catches for 22 yards last week against the Lone Peak Knights, and he's been a big contributor this week.
Last punt didn't go well. This one will.
Fenn is going to boot that one. He's going to be caught by Kale McCoy, and he's going to try and return it, and he slips a man, and he's going to get a good gain. He's going to be just short of the 40-yard line. It's going to be marked at the 38 as Pleasant Grove is going to have probably their most favorable field position of the night that they've gotten themselves.
As you see our names, I'm sure you guys probably recognize our voices, but I am Kimball here with Alan. Alan has been the main voice tonight, doing the play-by-play. I've just been here to add stuff that does or does not make sense, but hopefully you guys are entertained. Camera guys, we got Sheldon Sweet and Aiden Brigler. We'd like to shout out Aiden. It's his first game, and he's been a treat to have help us, help you guys.
Here's Rasmussen. He takes a snap. He looks right. He's going to fire over the middle. Catch is made by Tanner Blake, and he gets the first down. Get him 11 on first down.
It has really been Tanner Blake's game. He has been wide receiver number 1 so far tonight.
Tanner Blake is someone that's been really fun to see him kind of grow over the course of the season. Him and Carson Rasmussen's trust has really grown.
Yeah.
You saw Tanner Blake was a guy who was barely getting in the games to open the season, and now he's being trusted as the one-on-one guy at the bottom of your screen.
We'd also like to thank our producer, Caden, as you could read. He's my neighbor right now, making sure I get his name out.
There's Wolfgram who lowers the shoulder.
Ooh.
And he just kept going.
Is that Marshawn Lynch or Tua Wolfgram? I can't tell. Someone get that man some Skittles because he's got some running to do.
Holy cow, 8 yards on first down. He's been just electric today. 2nd down and 2. They are going to give him about a 2nd down and 2. So this is, you talk about it a lot, but inside the 40s with a favorable 2nd down and 3, you could take a shot here. And they're going to give it to Wolfgram, and he's going to cut upfield for the first down and more. Holy cow, Tua Wolfgram to the 29-yard line. We're going to have to come up with a nickname for him quick because he is deserving.
And he's going to need a second to sit out. He did get a helmet to the hip. I think he's going to be okay.
I think it's his hand that he's holding.
Oh. Either way, I'm pretty sure he ran full head of steam into a helmet there. From what I can see, he's probably going to be okay. He just needs a little bit of second to shake it off and get some blood back into the
Here's Rasmussen. He's going to hand it off this time. It's Morris, and he bounces it outside, and he'll get a small gain. Well, not a small gain. He gets a gain of about 4 on first down to make a 2nd down and 6.
I think they're still a little concerned about Carson and how he went down in the first half. And I think they're going to run the ball a little bit. It's also been working, so, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, the run game has been very, very good this week. 2nd down and 7 for the Vikings.
You can see both teams having over 100 yards total by the time the night's over.
Just on the ground.
Yeah.
As Rasmussen sends James Clark in motion, takes a snap. A little bit of a play action. He looks deep. He heaves deep, and it's caught in trap. Oh, it's not caught. Kel McCoy drops it.
Kel McCoy heard footsteps, and the guy who hit him.
It's a little banged up.
I can't tell if he's celebrating or if he hit Kel there a little weird. Kel unfortunately has 3 targets and has not caught it yet.
Kel has been open, and he's done a great job of finding the blank spaces in the zone. So it's going to be third down and a 7.
You can't blame too much on him. All of his catches have been highly contested. But definitely a couple he probably could have hung on to.
There's Rasmussen. He takes a snap, play action. As it's incomplete. I cannot. How is there not a flag? As there's a flag.
A penalty.
The umpire, the back judge, makes the right call, and I'm not supposed to be biased, but it's the right call. Ozzie Williams had him on the ground before the pass reached him.
Was the intended wide receiver. He's a tight end. We don't hear much from our tight ends here at Pleasant Grove, but he definitely answered the phone there. That was definitely good defense, just a tiny bit.
As I think the refs might have decided just to not call pass interference all night, but there's one that is called.
There's definitely been their fair share of that tonight.
Now, don't count out this Lehi secondary. Last week they had 13 passes defended and 2 interceptions. Those are amazing numbers.
Yeah.
And they've looked really, really good today. But they have made a couple mistakes like you just saw there. Some of them have gone unpenalized, and some of them have been penalized. As Tua's going to try and take it up the middle. He's going to get a small gain.
So he's okay. That's good to see. About a gain of 1.
.5:05 remaining here in the third quarter. Vikings looking to tie the ball game. They're on the doorstep. Second down and 9 from about the 12 or 13-yard line. It's going to be the 12-yard line.
If they keep doing what they've been doing, I can definitely see 6 points here by this offense.
Wolfgram in the backfield. And they're going to give it to him. He's going to cut it upfield, and he's got a big gain. 2 of those.
He's got it.
2 of those make it 3 of those.
And he's got a hat trick on both sides of the ball, and he is electric. We might as well just call him Zeus because he's got sparks in his fingertips.
Well, I said we needed to come up with a nickname, and we came up with a nickname. It's Zeus.
Yeah.
For Tua Wolfgram, who's played an amazing game.
Anyways, like I said, Vikings doing what they can to stay in this game, and let's just say they have done that.
As Parker Hall squeaks that one in.
Definitely looked like that was a blocked kick.
But he made it through. We're knotted up at 28.
We have a Lehi Pioneer on the ground. Looks like he might have cramped or pulled something in his leg.
He is back up, and that's a big guy. We've called his name a lot, too. Great returner, Boston Fabrizio.
He's okay.
We hope he is okay.
And he's jogging it off. Looks like he had a little bit of a cramp there. Cramps have definitely been something that a lot of teams have had to deal with, especially Carson last week had cramps.
It was Mackay Peterson who went down with cramps towards the end of the game.
Mackay too.
About 3 plays before Pleasant Grove walked it off, Mackay had a great catch and then went down.
I wonder what that is. It could be a creatine thing, because I know creatine definitely helps you get bigger, which is what you want for football, but it also does take a lot of water out of your muscles, or puts a lot of water in your muscles, taking the salt out and causing cramps a little more often than you'd think.
As he's stretching it out on the field now, he's wanting to return this kick. I think the referees might be telling him he has to go off for this play, as there's a late flag.
Looks like it will be on Lehi's coaching staff.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct on the Pioneer coaches. So I wonder, does Pleasant Grove have to take the 15 yards on the kickoff? That's what they're going to do, and Lehi's student section is not happy about that.
They will now kick it from the head of the Viking. Or
the nose of the Viking.
The nose.
So this is a time where you'll probably see a lot of teams maybe try a squib kick. You could see Rockwell Doman boot it 30 yards past the end zone, or you could see Rockwell Doman kind of pop one up, give the Vikings a chance to run under it and try and
either just kick the top of it and see how it bounces, or put so much foot on that it touches the moon, and then by the time they catch the ball, they either have to fair catch it or they get nailed.
As they are going to try a little bit of a squib kick, but it's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. As electric to the 35-yard line.
With the tackle.
Mays Madsen. Pleasant Grove doesn't get a penalty on that kickoff.
If you're wondering what my friend here is talking about, it looks like a little bit of like a holding or block in the back there.
I was just talking about
the return team.
A lot of the penalties on kickoffs today, but
yeah.
At the 36-yard line, all knotted up at 28 with 4:30 remaining here in the third quarter. Vikings trying to keep their region championship hopes alive.
A back-to-back playoff.
Skyridge is within a score.
Yeah, Skyridge only down by 5.
So it's going to be a handoff to the outside, and gobbled up is Aka.
Now that I remember how to speak English, we might have back-to-back overtime games. The score of the Skyridge AF game is 12-17, and Lone Peak continues to put points up against Westlake. Thought it was tight in the first quarter. It is not. Skyridge knocking on the door to put themselves in the lead.
I think Skyridge was probably a little rattled in the first half after an overtime loss to Pleasant Grove with a lot of drama after the game.
Yes.
Not going to really talk about it, but there was some altercations between refs and fans and fans and fans and players and players, and I think
a
they might
lot
be
of emotions out in the field for sure.
A little rattled up coming into the first half of this game, but they seem to have regained some of their composure, and they're keeping it close. As there's a flag, it's going to be a delay of game. And shout out to, I think that was Coach Wood on the sideline for Pleasant Grove for pointing that one out. It's going to back them up 5.
That's usually not something you see in high school, considering that offenses are a lot more simpler in high school than they are in the NFL, which you usually see a lot of delays of games and it's very common.
Yeah, the rule for delay of game, while you might see them called when you might not see them called when there's zeros on the clock, is the ref has to look at the clock, see it hit 0, and then look at the ball. So really teams have an extra second towards the end.
Yeah.
Because if you snap the ball at 0, you're fine. So as Neo launches one deep, he's got a man, and he led him too far inside. Was looking for Justice Cooper, who he already linked up with for 75 yards and a touchdown earlier.
That would have been his second if he would have connected. A little bit of blown coverage there. Bronco
just got beat.
Misplaced the ball. I believe Gabe was playing man, and that Cooper kid, is that Cooper, right? He is
Justice Cooper.
Yeah, he's got some speed on him. But Bronco probably, from what I guess, he misplaced the ball and was looking for some contact.
So here's Neo with a 3rd down and 15. As he's going to have a single man on his left hip and then trips on the right side. Neo takes the snap, looks right. Vikings blitz, he doesn't see it, and it gets picked up well by the Pioneers offensive line, and it's incomplete. Tanner Blake on the pass defense. Gets his hand in there, and Lehi's upset. They wanted a pass interference.
That was just great. Lehi's wide receiver had both of his hands able to catch the ball. But
from what I saw from up here, it looked clean. Obviously, I understand if there's frustration on the Lehigh sideline.
Yeah.
Just seeing the call that was made against you on the last drive.
I could see, PG had it looked like they had the ball caught. Lehigh had the ball caught, but was swatted out.
So 4th down and 15. It looks like they're going to send Gavin Fenn out to punt.
And they do this weird punt routine. It seems to work, though. I don't know what it is, but it seems to work.
Riker got through the first line pretty easy, but Fenn gets that one booted. Fair catch called and made at about the 32-yard line.
Yeah. The Cavemen score, putting them up 8 over the Falcons.
Pending the PAT.
20-17.
3:20 left here in the third quarter.
Having themselves a fun Friday night.
Carson Rasmussen looking to put the Vikings up in this one.
Yep.
So it's a big drive.
3:20 left to go in the fourth quarter, and this has been a doozy.
So here's Rasmussen. He's going to have one wide receiver split out on both sides. Takes a snap. He's going to hand it off. It's Morris. Morris is going to get a gain of about 4 on first down. That's a good gain. You're looking for about at least 3 yards to open up your drive.
Morris
So
has
4 yards is
definitely
an added
found
benefit.
his spot in this offense as being the reliable, a reliable running back. He may not be a power back or have the agility that Tua has, but definitely has found his spot and is able to get some yards for this offense.
So here's Rasmussen. And there's going to be a false start on Pleasant Grove. That flag was rocketed about 20 yards.
57 for the Vikings. Sorry, we got a bunch of sheets here.
Quade Coombs.
Yeah.
So that makes it 2nd down and 11. Which is not an awful scenario, but playing from behind the sticks is never advantageous.
Nope.
Rasmussen is going to keep Morris in the backfield with him. Trips on the right side. Tries to get the Pioneers to jump off sides. He's going to take the snap, play action. He's going to take it himself, and he's going to get a gain of 1 or 2. They're going to give him 2. That's something we haven't seen Carson do a lot this season, but that's a good read. Decided not to make the pass.
His knee is bothering him again. His right knee is not looking good. He's still hobbling.
But that's the reason that he hasn't been running the ball a lot, and that's what's caused Pleasant Grove to turn to the air, and it worked last week.
Yeah.
For sure.
Looks like he's going to stay in this game. He's hurt, but his nickname might have to be Captain America because he's...
Carson Rasmussen is a guy who hates to come out of games when he's hurt. He had a bloody nose and a half last year in basketball and tried to come back in.
And he did.
As Rasmussen takes a snap. He's going to launch it deep, looking for Cale McCoy, and he can't come down with it.
Almost grabbed that on his helmet.
Pass defended by Max Ray, and that is going to bring out the Vikings punt team. So it's 4th and 9, and Cale McCoy is upset. That's his 4th target. I wouldn't call any of them drops, but that's his 4th catch that's been in his hands, and an outside force has kind of popped it out.
Just in and out.
Yeah, none of them have really been his fault. That's a tough one-on-one against a 6-foot Max Ray. As his twin brother, Gabe McCoy, gets that one off. As the Pioneers are going to let this one bounce for the first time. And Trevor Braby is going to grab it at about the 27, 28-yard line.
Might have let that one bounce a little bit, but whatever.
So it's time for our opposing player of the game. This season, we're honoring an opposing student who has excelled and grown on the field and in the classroom. And this week's Pioneer is Jensen Somerville. Jensen is a 3-year varsity starter who's committed to play left tackle on scholarship at UCLA next season.
Wow.
He played base every year from 8th grade to his junior years. You can see the picture on the right side. And was voted in as a Pioneer captain this season. Coach Larson says of Jensen, quote, he is found each Saturday morning helping the Lehi youth football program in various capacities. Jensen is the player that is always watching out for his teammates, making sure they represent Lehi football in the best of terms. We're proud of Jensen and the example that he has been to this Lehi program, not only in his activities off the field, but also his great abilities on the field. Earning a scholarship to UCLA is no small feat.
Big school.
As there is a Viking down on the left.
It looks like a Lehi Pioneer down. I think it might be Boston
Fabrizio. There's some fun names on this Pioneer team.
Yeah.
But he would be a big loss.
Yeah, it looks like he's still having problems with that left or right leg.
As on your screen now is a QR code that will take you directly to a PayPal where you can donate to our PGSN program. This money goes directly back to our program and is spent on merchandise, upgrading equipment, and allowing students to travel to Georgia this winter to broadcast the Vikings out-of-state basketball tournament and bring it right back to you guys. There are also options for companies or individuals to promote and broadcast commercials. And if you are interested in this option, email Russ Mayo, whose information is on the screen. And we'd like to thank you for your continued support of PGSN.
Actually looks like
Looks like it was Ozzie Williams who's played a big part on the Pioneer defense today.
Yeah, he's okay walking off by himself. Maybe got popped a little bit. Not quite too sure on that one, but he's okay.
He's played a big role at corner. He's made a couple big plays and is looking to come back for the next Pioneer defensive drive. We have 1:20 remaining here in the third quarter. We're still knotted up at 28. Each team has 7 points here in this third quarter. as Jet Niu and the Pioneers offense come back out on the field. Here is Jet. Takes a snap, looks right, continues to look right, throws over the middle, pass is caught for a gain of 5, maybe 6. He reached forward to make it 8. What an effort.
Trevin Gates there on the tackle. Thought he had a fumble, but accidentally gave him an extra couple yards.
I'm not sure if that was Tyson Greenwood or Grayson Brousseau who made that catch, but
whoever it was, they did
an impressive one.
Yeah. Dang good job.
As Neo in shotgun, single back once again. He's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off. Up the middle is Lehi, and Riker Mickelsen's going to keep him short of a first down. It's going to be 3rd down and a long one.
Trying to find a hole there, had to bounce it outside, and Riker met him and said, oh, hey, here's the out-of-bounds line. Looks like there might be one more play. The play clock demands there be one more play before the end of the game.
End of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, end of the 3rd quarter.
We've still got 12 more minutes to play.
Sorry for the heart attacks I gave you guys.
He's trying to fake you guys out.
Yeah, looks like they'll have to call just one more play.
It's a big play, too. 3rd down and short.
Like
Trips out on the left side. Neo. Play action. He's going to try and throw it. And incomplete. So it's going to be 4th and 1 when we come back from the 3rd quarter break. Don't go anywhere. I don't know why you would, but we're knotted up at 28 at the end of 3. We got a brand new ball game and only 12 minutes to decide it. We'll be big 4th down as the Pioneers are electing to go for it from the 38-yard line. Would not be surprised to see a hard count here.
Elected to play a full 12-minute sudden death match. Basically 0-0 game.
So they're going to hand it off.
And they're going to get
the first down is going to be reached. It's a gain of 2, a gain of 3. He needed 1. So it's going to be 1st down and 10 from about the 41-yard line. All is not lost for this Vikings defense, though. They're still very much away from the goal line, about 59 yards.
Still in their own territory.
Here's Neo. He's going to have ace formation, 2 wide receivers on each side. One of them's the tight end lined up at the bottom of your screen. You'll see him crouching. Neo takes a snap, looks right, continues to look right. He's going to try a screen pass, gets chased down, and it's incomplete. We'll see if there's a flag for intentional grounding.
I think because it is a screen pass, I don't know if you call intentional grounding.
Just depends on if there was an eligible receiver in the area. The ball did not.
I believe the running back was close enough. I think that's what they're going off of.
Yeah, the ball did not make it past the line of scrimmage. So if there wasn't an eligible receiver in the area, it's going to be an intentional grounding, and the ball is going to be put back where Niu made the pass. It's like they assume he got sacked.
Yeah.
We'll see what the refs decide. I wasn't paying enough attention to see if there was an eligible receiver in the area. They're going to have a conference with all 5 of your referees tonight.
Jet Niu trying to take care of the ball a little bit more there after throwing the pick 6 on their last screen pass to a Zeus. Or Zeus, I don't know. Got to make sure you guys know it's Tua we're talking about. Zeus Wolfgram like The Rock, but he's Zeus.
As they're calling a penalty on Pleasant Grove, it looks like.
Still in conference.
Or maybe that ref was just going to where he's going to be set for the play, but. And They're not asking Lehi if they want to accept or decline a penalty because they would accept it. It was an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
We'll see. They are going to move it back, so it's going to be an intentional grounding on the Pioneers and Jet Niu. The result of that play is a loss of down, so it's going to be 2nd down and 16.
Yeah. Like Alan said, counts as basically a sack.
As Niu is now trying to argue his case. As the Lehi coaching staff can't get another unsportsmanlike conduct. I don't think he's close to one, but if he gets another one, he's gone. 2 in 1 game for the same person results in them being ejected from the game, and it is going to be an intentional grounding. You'll see the 2 slashes going sideways. And so we'll see 11:24 here left in this ball game.
We got word from Caden, who talked to the announcers of today's game. I think they're calling out an ineligible player downfield.
Well, they called that one the intentional grounding because it is the loss of down.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a 2nd and 21 for this Vikings team.
It's a country mile, if you ask me.
Yeah, Niu and the Pioneers offense are looking to get a big spark here. As Niu takes a snap, drops back, he's looking deep, he's firing deep, and just out of the outside of the outstretched arms of Justice Cooper, that is Niu's deep, big play receiver.
Cooper has some legs on him, and I can see why Jet Niu likes to take shots downfield to that guy, because he's usually open. He just needs to work a little bit more on that deep ball.
And Jet Niu has all of the time in the world. He's a junior this season. He's already getting recruited by other schools, by colleges around the nation. So he's a very promising prospect here in this Lehi backfield.
Yeah, and he's played as such tonight.
As they're going to go with an empty set. Trips on the right side, Twins on the left side. Here's Niu. He takes a snap. Vikings only rush 3. Throws over the middle. Quick pass. And the catch is made for a gain of about 14 or so. The Vikings are going to take that all day. It's 4th down and 7. So.
And here comes the punt team for the Pioneers.
It's going to be 4th down and 8.
And Lehi will do their weird shuffle thingy for the punt team.
I'm sure there's a reason behind it. I've never seen it before, but it's unique and it's fun to see. But
yeah.
As there's another bad snap. The Vikings don't really rush it as much. But
That is a sky-high kick.
Fenn was more worried about getting the kickoff, so he kind of rushed it. Not as good of a kick as we've seen from him, but
Actually put some
really
backspin in there. Boston there to stop it from bouncing too far back in the Vikings' favor.
Really good job by Fenn with the bad situation he did have to.
Yeah, both punters have had stressful situations punting the ball.
So 10:30 here remaining in this ball game. The Vikings with a chance to take the lead now.
If I were the Vikings, I would take off as much time as I could, put up some points, and then make Lehi play from behind.
I mean, pounding the rock is really what's been working for this Pleasant Grove team. And then Carson's arm as well. But with Carson being basically taken out of the run game, as there's Matt Morris with a big gain. They're going to give him 5 on 1st down to make it 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, if run game keeps doing what they're doing, I think they'll be able to do plenty, taking some time off the clock. But
I think I talked about at the beginning of the season.
I think Vikings are going to run hurry up.
One of the things I said was, can Pleasant Grove trust Carson's arm when it comes to these cold winter months? And they've kind of been forced to have to trust it as the run up the middle
goes nowhere.
Gets stopped very quickly. It's going to be a gain of 1 to make it 3rd down and 4. And they've had to rely on it the last 2 games with a banged up Rasmussen in the backfield. And ultimately,
it's worked out.
At least so far, it's worked out. You're knotted up at 28 at this game. You had the big comeback last week against Skyridge. So Carson really looking good with that arm, finding open receivers, making great passes.
If you hear anything in Allen's voice, it's because it's a wee bit chilly outside.
And I was stupid.
Still denying my suit coat. But I think he'll be all right.
If you insist. As Rasmussen in ace formation, he's going to take the snap, look left, throw left. Sean Cottle drops it on 3rd and 4. He's got to be so frustrated after that. Sean had 1 catch for 38 yards last week. Was looking to get a big first down on that one. And the Vikings are going to send out Gabe McCoy in the punt team. That's so disheartening for Sean. He's likely frustrated about the lack of targets he's received. This is his lowest season when it comes to receiving yards of his career. As Gabe McCoy is going to try and bomb one, and he does. Great kick. As it's going to bounce, and the Vikings are going to have to try and get someone to jump on it, and they do at about the 28-yard line.
Yeah.
So 28-yard line, 28-28 is your score. And we have 9:12 remaining here in this ballgame. Both teams have all 3 timeouts.
It looks like we're in for a treat.
Man, have we had some really...
We had a full 3-course meal, but I think we're getting another dessert.
All season, this might be the icing on the cake when it comes to the regular season. We had a big game against Lone Peak. We had a big game against Skyridge last week. I was given the honor and the opportunity of being able to be on the call for both of those games, as it's been such a fun season for this Vikings team. Here's Niu taking the snap, looking left. Continues to look left, throws over the middle, throws it into a host of Viking defenders. Wolfgram, Trevin, and Matyra Brown were all there.
It looked like either Tua or Trevin could have picked it, maybe gotten each other's way there, but that would have...
I think the Vikings are more than happy with the pass defense there to cut it to 2nd and 10. They're really just looking to get this Pioneers team off the field.
Yeah. We
Give your
also
offense
can't
another chance.
count out this defensive line. They've been playing their hearts out, especially without Levi Besant. They've been playing well, and they've been pressuring the quarterback the best
As
they
Trevin
can.
and Bronco and Sean and a lot of Vikings defenders combined for that tackle. I think not only have they been playing without Levi Besant, but they've played against a really, really talented offensive lines the last 3 weeks. They lost Levi, I think, in the first or second quarter against American Fork. And they were without him last week against Skyers, and they're without him this week against a very, very talented Pioneers team.
Yeah.
This Lehi team also has had a really, really good season. Last season they went 14-0. They were the 5A state championships. They beat Timpview in triple overtime.
That would have been a fun game to watch. Vikings are getting loud on 3rd down.
3rd and 6. Here's Niu in shotgun. Vikings show blitz. They do blitz. They bring the house. They can't quite get to him, and the catch is made. Bronco's going to make the tackle down the sideline, but it's a first down for the Pioneers.
And then again, their dangerous tight end getting open.
The PA announcer here keeps calling Luis Garcia, but he's listed on our roster as a running back. So I'm pretty sure it's Grayson Brosau. It should probably be pretty easy to check. One of them's 5'5", and the other one's 6'6". So
I'm going to go with the 6'6" one.
As here's Niu with a fresh set of downs at the 43-yard line. There was a penalty about this spot last drive that killed him. As Niu takes a step, he's going to hand it off to Letu. Letu with a lane. Gets a gain of 8 to make it 2nd down and 2.
Vikings defense not looking comfortable right now. So Lehi is marching their way down the field.
7:55 and counting here in the ball game and the 4th quarter. As Niu might take a shot here. If he does take a shot, you're obviously looking at Justice Cooper, who he's targeted a lot.
It looks like Bronco Winterton is ready to help him there.
And he does try and take a shot, and he gets brought down just short of the line of scrimmage. Jet Niu got rocked by a host of Vikings defenders. That's going to move him back about a yard and make it 4th down and 3.
It looks like Mason Levy had him around the ankles, and Trevin Gates wrapped him up around the arms and took him down.
Niu wanted to take a shot here. We talked about it in the pregame show. We showed you his stats before the season. He's not a run-first guy.
No.
He's very hesitant to try and take off with his legs. He trusts his arm a lot more. As we've seen, it's a good thing to trust.
Yeah.
But you have Cooper one-on-one at the bottom of your screen against Mackay Peterson. As there's going to be a flag. And it's going to be a false start. I think it might have been on Cooper.
And that is not going to help this Lehi defense.
The ref on the Vikings sideline has called maybe 1 penalty all game. I think he might be a little hesitant.
Maybe.
To make those penalty calls, but
who really
3rd down
knows?
and 8. You've seen the umpire. He's the guy who's basically looks like a linebacker, but with the zebra uniform on. He's made a lot of the calls.
I think he's the main guy to make those calls. And I think he's doing his job pretty well.
So now the Pioneers come out in a different formation. They send Cooper out to the top of your screen.
Just under 7 minutes to go.
As there's going to be a penalty called by the a timeout called by the Pioneers.
Yeah.
With 6:56 remaining here in this ball game. We're all knotted up at 28, and we'll be back. Third down and 8 for this Vikings defense and the Pioneer offense. Looking for
what happened to our camera?
An electric play here. I doubt as Neal takes a snap, looks left. He's getting rushed, throws deep, has a man, and it's incomplete, and there's a flag. Tanner Blake's going to get called for the pass interference, and he is visibly upset. And that one's about a 50-50 call.
Yeah.
I have no issue with the PI, and I have no issue if they wouldn't have called one.
Yeah. Could have gone either way. I think the refs have let maybe a couple calls slide.
That's going to give the Pioneers a free first down. As I don't know why the cheerleaders like to throw T-shirts at some of the biggest points in the game, but at Lone Peak, we were down on the goal line. We were down by like 3, and they started throwing T-shirts. We all know how that game turned out, though, so no harm, no foul. As now it's 1st and 10 from the 40 for Jet Niu and the Pioneers. Trips on the right side. Niu takes a snap. Quick throw, he fakes it. Throws it back over the middle, and he's a wide open screen pass, and I think I saw a flag come out, but I don't see one on the ground.
Scan for yellow, and I don't see anything either. That's a good pickup, about 9.
Yeah, 8 or 9 on first down is going to make it 2nd down and short.
With a wonderful open field tackle.
That was a well drawn up play by the Pioneers coaching staff. Got a lot of Vikings to bite on the first pump fake. And now a favorable 2nd down for this Pioneers team. 6:18 and counting left in this ballgame.
Lehi has a chance to run out some clock and put some points on the board, and they look like they might be able to do so.
Same formation as the last play. Niu takes his snap, he's going to hand it off. Up the middle and getting the first down and just a little bit more. As the Vikings could badly use a turnover here.
Yep, they could do that. Oh, we got a Vikings player on the field, and looks like they're going to take a timeout for him.
As he's stretching out his legs. So
I'm not quite sure who it is. We can't see their number from here.
I'm guessing it's a cramp, but I'm not completely sure. 6:02 left. The Vikings got a crucial interception last week against Skyridge by Tua Wolfgram and made the pick in the red zone.
Maybe we see that again.
Tua's probably looking for it. The whole Vikings defense is probably looking for it. Like I said during the break, they're probably looking for these turnovers, especially in these crucial situations. So,
yeah.
So I'm trying to take deep breaths so I stop shivering and like panting into the mic.
Yeah. I know it's cold, but I can't wait for winter time, man.
Means football season's over, Kimball.
We got up and walking, number 53, that's Mason Ivy. Seems to be holding his arm, too.
As you can see at the bottom of your screen, next to the scoreboard, Carson working out on the bike.
Trying to stretch out that knee, make sure it's doing all right. But he is holding his arm. It looks like he might have landed on it weird or had someone else land on it weird.
So now here are the Pioneers looking for a big score here at the 26. It's 1st and 10.
And not our pregame show. It's actually 1st and 10.
Jet Niu is going to have Aka in the backfield with him. Niu in shotgun. Takes a snap. Quickly looks right. Scans the field. He's got some men chasing him, and he's going to be brought down. That's the Vikings' second sack of the ballgame, and it's Matira Brown. That's a big sack for the Vikings. For most kickers, this is not field goal range. It would be about a 52-yard kick if they were to try and kick a field goal from this spot exactly.
Don't make it anywhere from here.
But
they've had some big plays.
We have seen Gavin Fenn with a leg.
Yeah.
So 2nd down and 19. Niu comes out in the empty set. Almost clearly a passing situation. Niu's very hesitant to run, so would expect a pass here. Vikings only rush 3. Passes made to about the 26-yard line. It's going to be a 3rd down and 10. Niu has done a great job of reading the Viking zone. That spot has been open almost the entire game, and he's done a great job of finding those holes and making the passes that he needs to. So
update on some games in the Valley. Still a close game. AF Skyridge. AF up by 7 points, 27-20. And I think Westlake finally put their second touchdown up on the board, making it
says there's only about 2 minutes to go in that American Fort game. So they're looking to clinch the region with a win. 4:30 remaining. Here's Niu, takes a snap, looks right, continues to scan the field. He's got a wide open pocket, takes a shot over the middle, and it's caught. Isaiah Mama, oh mama, at the 5-yard line, 4:16.
He pulled that one out of his tool belt.
As the clock is going to continue to run.
Jet Niu really finding his strides in these super high-pressured situations, and he is not backing down from the challenge.
So here's Niu.
1st and goal.
1st and 5 or 1st and goal. There's less than 4 minutes to play in this ball game. Vikings have all 3 timeouts. Niu hands it off to Lehi. Lehi
almost there.
Gets pulled back. He's short by about a yard. Latu is what they're saying on the PA. So it might be Latu, might be Lehi. So it's going to be a 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. As the Pioneers are just chewing the clock here. Lehi has 2 timeouts, the Vikings have all 3.
Definitely see another run.
So here's Niu with Latu in the backfield.
Yeah, with the motion.
Takes the snap, he's going to hand it off to him, and there's a flag. That's going to scoot him back 5. Oh, it's called an offsides. So that's going to move him forward about a foot. But still not very good for the Vikings in this situation to give up any turf. I didn't see an offsides, but from 50 yards away, it
might even be 100 at this point.
Yeah. And it is called an offsides on the Vikings.
There'll be half a distance to the goal because there is not 5 yards in between the
there
goal
might be
line
like a foot.
and where the Pioneers have the ball.
As the Pioneers having a conference on their sideline, they're totally happy to take all the time off the clock that they want. I think Coach Walkenhorst is past the point of no return. He probably should have called the timeout there, but the clock's going to be run all the way to almost 2 minutes, which is poor clock management by the Vikings here. So here's Niu.
Another run play, most likely from the Pioneers.
With Lehi, takes a snap, hands it off, and it's going to be 6. Is it 6? Trevin Gates drives him back. That's a bad man. As that's going to be some extracurricular activity for Lehi. They're not going to penalize him for it, which is
definitely
shocking.
Interesting.
And I'd expect the Vikings to call
really,
a timeout here, too.
Really crazy that a running back would drop the ball after a tackle and then tackle.
The PG sideline's been calling a timeout for about 15 seconds, and it just got picked up.
I've never seen a running back drop the football and then tackle his tackler.
There's 1:58 remaining in this ball game. It's a big third down for Pleasant Grove.
I guess that's why you come to these high school football games, is because you see stuff you usually don't.
So it's third down and goal from about we'll give them the 1 yard line.
Yeah. Probably the inches at this point.
There's 1:58 remaining here in this ball game. As the Vikings are obviously frustrated after Lehi tackled Riker Mickelson after Riker Mickelson tackled Lehi.
Yeah.
And then the timeout kind of being ignored for about 10 seconds. So there's 1:58 remaining.
T-Walk talking to some refs, trying to get some communication going between the two.
And just from what I see, the ball might be on the goal line.
Yeah.
Like, the ball
From
could
this
probably
angle
not be closer to the goal line.
than it is right now.
And Lehi's student section getting hyped up. Pleasant Grove student section getting hyped up. It's a third and very, very short.
This is a big play.
The Pioneers are looking for a touchdown.
And they're probably going to run it again. Or will they pull a little Seahawks in the Super Bowl?
Okay,
and
too
pass
far.
it?
Niu takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. And that time he gets in. So it's 6 points for the Pioneers with 1:53 remaining. It's a 6-point lead for Lehi. Do the Vikings have more magic in them? They were in a very, very similar scenario last week against the Falcons.
Yep.
And now they're looking for a big, big drive with less than 2 minutes left to play. As here's Fenn on the kick.
Can Carson put his 15 to the test?
As there we go.
Pull a little Patrick Mahomes here and score quick.
It is a 7-point ball game now. Pioneers up by 7, 35-28.
First score of the fourth quarter. That took 11 minutes. That's at 11, about 10 minutes of game time. About an hour in real life.
I'm glad about it, though.
Yeah. It's been a heck of a football game.
1:53 remaining. Carson Rasmussen and the Vikings offense looking to get a big, big win here. They have 2 timeouts and 1:53 left on the clock. So time will not really be an issue for now. Depends on how the drive opens. But looking for Fenn to just boot this one into the end zone, not give Pleasant Grove a chance to return it. As here's Fenn on the kick, as that one's going to go into the end zone and more. So Vikings are going to start at about the 20-yard line with 1:53 remaining.
They do have 2 timeouts, which is plenty. But we'll see.
Does Pleasant Grove have a little bit more magic in that hat? Or will they come out disappointed? Well, you can't really be disappointed at this season, no matter the outcome of the game. But
played their hearts out, and this has been a really good game so far. Either way, whoever wins, whoever loses, they both played their hearts out.
As a timeout or something called by Lehi?
The sound is echoing the atmosphere here.
The ref is pointing up at the student section. I don't know. Not sure what the issue is.
I'm confused.
There's a lot of interesting things that come up in high school football, especially when we don't have.
I don't know what the ref is doing, hugging the coaching staff of Lehi, but he is having a chat with them. Maybe some forbidden chants there by the Pioneers.
All I heard was defense, but they did switch that after a little bit of what I thought I heard PG, but I'm not gonna make claims if I'm not sure. So here's 1st and 10 for Carson Rasmussen and the Vikings offense. Ace formation. Here's Rasmussen, takes a snap, looks left, throws left quickly. Catch is made by Tanner Blake.
And he's the man of the hour.
He's going to get a gain of about 6.
And it's time to hurry it up.
The Vikings are going to turn on that hurry-up offense.
And they've been doing that all game. And it hasn't hurt them at all.
As here's Rasmussen, he takes a snap. Throws quickly to Sean Cottle. Sean Cottle, does he get out of bounds?
Don't think so.
He does get out of bounds. It's also a 1st down.
Oh, he did. Sweet. Good for him.
So the Vikings to the 31-yard line. 1:32 remaining in this ball game. Rasmussen still going hurry up. He's got Tanner Blake in the slot. Takes a snap, looks quickly to the right, throws quickly to the right, and it's incomplete. Just a short pass to Cal McCoy.
He is not having himself a great game.
That's a ball that hit the turf in front of him.
Yeah.
Not a ton you can do there.
Yeah, but I can tell he's upset from here.
The clock does stop at 1:25. 2nd down and 10.
They're on their own 31. They have 69 yards to go.
As Rasmussen, same formation. Takes a snap. Looks left. He's going to throw the screen pass to Tua. As Tua's going to make a couple men miss. And that's going to be a gain of about 6.
Probably should have cut out of bounds there. But they're going to call an injury timeout.
Tua's a little shaken up. I think he might have got hit in the head.
Tua's right leg as he's extending. Looks like it might be some cramps.
As the Vikings fans want a helmet-to-helmet hit.
I think that's my neighbor. Anyways.
1:14 left in this ball game.
This ref continues to let the boys play.
Now Coach Walkenhorst is having a discussion, clearly upset.
I didn't see anything from here, but there's a lot to focus on from an eagle eye view.
As here's Rasmussen. He takes the snap, looks right, throws right, very quickly, catch is made, and he stays up. Cal McCoy, did he get the first down?
Will they give it to him?
And he did. That's going to stop the clock with 1:03 remaining. Vikings inside the 40-yard line. Or one ref called it a first down. The other one is what looks like standing in front of the sticks, but not pointing. And now he is going to point it. So there's a first down for Pleasant Grove. 63 seconds remaining in this ball game. Now we're at 60. Clock is running. Rasmussen takes a snap, and he fumbles it. He's going to pick it up and take it himself. And he's just going to dive down. I think the Vikings are going to use a timeout.
Yeah.
That's going to stop the clock at 52.6 remaining. Good job by Rasmussen to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, they just need to keep doing what they're doing. They probably need to look for some deeper plays and looking not towards the middle of the field, but towards the outside of the field.
The Vikings have kind of been targeting what's been working for them against what worked for them against Skyridge. And here we have a 2nd down and 5. Rasmussen got 5 on the drop snap that he dived forward for.
Talk about making good of something bad. Made sure that this drive isn't going to end sooner than it needs to.
So some great student section appearances by both teams. Lehi's had done a great job on their sideline, but now it's up to the boys on the field. 52.6 remaining. Rasmussen with the ace formation, running back on his left hip. As he's going to take the snap. Look right, throw right, very quickly. Catch is made. Was it a first down? They're going to mark him just short. Pleasant Grove's got to go hurry up.
Makai Peterson on the catch there.
You can't use your timeout here.
You've got to keep going.
Or it is a first down. They don't know. The clock's going to stop at 43 seconds. The Chains crew is moving. None of the refs signaled first down. Now they're going to have to go talk to the Chains crew. And
miscommunication here. Definitely interesting. They have not struggled with it so far, but the fast pace is probably a little bit of a strain.
They are. I think they're just going to give Pleasant Grove the first down. The Chains crew kind of got past the point of no return. And they are just going to have to give Pleasant Grove the first down. There was no way to know where the Chains were. So the Vikings are going to get the first down. 43 seconds remaining here. And now Coach T-Walk and Coach Larson are out on the logo having a discussion with the refs.
A lot of talk between the refs and coaches and the refs and refs. I don't know if it's needed. I'm not a ref or a coach, but definitely
I think they're
interesting.
just trying to make sure that neither team gets too upset about this, just explaining that, you know, they really didn't have anything to do with it. They can't reset the chains. They can't, like, really do anything. So Coach Larson and Coach Walkenhorst are now going to meet with their teams.
And they'll get an extra timeout here.
So the whole Lehi team comes out.
Interesting.
It has brought the game within 1. So some anticipation over there. It's tied.
PG also empties their sidelines to talk it out.
So now
Maybe a prayer said in that huddle.
the ref has his arms crossed at the 48-yard line. Vikings send trips on the left side, which is the wide side of the field. Makai Peterson's the lone man on the weak side. Vikings are going to try and get out of bounds here on this play. As here's Carson in shotgun. Takes a snap, looks right. Throws a quick pass to Makai, and it's caught, but he's going to stay inbounds, so the clock's going to run. Pleasant Grove can't really use a timeout here.
See what happens.
23 seconds left on the clock when Carson snaps it. He's just going to have to take a deep shot. So he's limping on that leg, and Makai can't bring it in. 16.4 remaining on the clock. Vikings
Carson
at the 40.
Struggling to be mobile. His knee's still hurting him. 16.4 seconds left to go in the game, and they need a miracle.
Yeah, the Vikings still have 1 timeout left, but only 16 seconds. You got to think they're going to take a deep shot at some point. Lehi has 4 men just super deep. And then they're still bringing a little bit of a rush on Carson. They rush 4. So he's going to throw a dart, and it's caught. Timeout has to be called here with 30 seconds left. Or there is a first down, so they don't necessarily have to call a timeout, but they do.
They will call a timeout.
So a fresh set of downs. The Vikings have 2 or 3 plays.
Oh, boy, this is where high school legends are made and memories will last forever.
11.4 seconds remaining in this ball game.
30 yards to go, 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Carson doesn't have the biggest arm in the state, but he definitely can throw it 30 yards if needs be.
And Skyridge and American Fork have moved into overtime.
PG will be looking to do the same here tonight. Go to back-to-back overtimes.
So Rasmussen and the offense come out. The Vikings haven't lost a timeout on the scoreboard yet. I'm pretty sure they used one, but.
Interesting. See what they can do. They have to go big or go home or do something quick.
Here's Rasmussen in shotgun. Once again, takes the snap, looks left, continues to look left, throws over the middle, and it's caught by Kel McCoy. He's got to get out of bounds, and he does inside the 15 with 5.4 seconds left. The Vikings are going to have the clock stopped.
Someone who's been struggling all game, and Cale McCoy comes up big when the Vikings need him. Never count him out. He's always got room in the tank to make some hearts stop.
As here's Rasmussen trying to make some magic happen. 15,
very few sitting right now.
15 yards away from the goal line.
Even our producer is standing. He's so excited.
5.4 seconds left. Pleasant Grove's either got 2 quick plays or 1 long play. And now a timeout's going to be called by the Pioneers. I don't know, because it still says Pleasant Grove has 1 timeout left on the scoreboard. And if they do, that could come in very handy. And if they don't,
that's interesting.
You got to take a deep shot, really.
Yeah. It's not even a deep shot anymore. 15 yards is not that deep of a pass.
Well, you're going to see Lehi playing a lot of prevent defense.
Yeah. Prevent defense definitely leaves some open.
They're going to let Pleasant Grove get as far down the field as they want until they get to the goal line.
Yeah, there's definitely some space for error in prevent defense. Yeah, and after the game, no matter the outcome, we will be recognizing the seniors of this football team.
There are a lot of big names on this team who are seniors.
Lucky for the next class, they will still have Carson next season, who has really been the glue of this offense.
So the Pioneers send 5 men standing on the goal line. They have 3 men in the box, or they make it about 5. The Vikings need some magic here. 5.4 seconds left to go. Rasmussen with Zeus on his left hip. Rasmussen takes a snap. Lehi brings the house. Rasmussen trying to make some magic. The throw, and it's intercepted, and that is going to do it. The Pioneers win 35-28. As the Vikings go down on senior night after what has been a magical season, what has been a huge game, and they're going to get those refs quickly off the field after what Skyridge did last week. Pleasant Grove finishes the regular season 8-2, which is nothing to hang your hat on, pending the outcome of the American Fork Skyridge game.
Right now, Carson Rasmussen is down on the. Is that Carson?
That's not Carson. That's number 57 for Pleasant Grove.
A player down on the field.
It is Quade Coombs for the Vikings.
Been down before. Vikings upset, and some will say they have reason to be, but they definitely should hang their heads high because they played a heck of a football game. Only 1 touchdown in the second half. Probably the one thing they need to work on is just consistency through the entire game and playing a little bit better second half. But I know it's unfortunate Vikings lose here tonight, but stay tuned for senior night. And we're going to recognize some wonderful players that have made this 8-2 season possible.
Yeah, 8-2, 3-2 in region play. This is the Vikings' only loss at home all season. Their other loss came to the Cavemen on the road just 2 weeks ago. A magical season. Yeah. Again, like you said, nothing to be upset about. Obviously, not super happy of the way that this game ends, but we've been rooting for American Fork to lose all game. Now you're kind of rooting for the Cavemen to win, because with a Skyridge victory, Pleasant Grove would get knocked down to 4th in the region. With an American Fork win, Pleasant Grove would be at 3rd.
Looks like if they did go into overtime, the Cavemen scored a touchdown.
So they've got a thriller over there. We invite you to join us in 2 weeks.
Has a chance to win.
As Pleasant Grove opens up their playoff run against someone we don't know who they're playing yet. We'll know at 10 a.m. tomorrow on UHSAA.org. We'll tell you who Pleasant Grove's playing. They're likely going to be the 5 seed. They might drop down to the 6 seed, but
the 5 seed tight conference
gives them a home field advantage for the first game, and then they're going to
go on the road.
If there are no upsets in the first round, they'll have to travel on the road. That's not what I remember seeing the first time. It looks like Pleasant Grove's 4th. So if Skyridge loses, I think Pleasant Grove's going to stay 4th, which will give them home field advantage all the way to the U. But we thank you for joining us tonight. We do have more coming. Don't leave. We got some senior recognition. We got some.
We'll give you guys a break from our voices.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Like I said, do not leave. We're going to have a little bit of a post-game show and then some senior recognition. Hard-fought season, hard-fought game for these kids. Nothing to be upset about. So the Vikings lose a close one here in Pleasant Grove. A disheartening way to end the season, but definitely nothing to be too disheartened about. They'll have 2 weeks off before they play their first postseason game. The team they play will also get a first-round bye, but the game will be here at Pleasant Grove. We wish you the best. And we wish this Pleasant Grove team the best. Tua Wolfgram played an amazing game. Yeah. Tua Wolfgram played his heart out. He had 3 touchdowns for this Pleasant Grove team. He's really become an X factor on both sides of the ball for PG.
Yeah.
I think
Here comes the seniors. They're taking photos. They got a little, I don't know what they call those, little setup for pictures, and then they're going to come onto the field.
Yep.
Get
So
their
our
gift bags.
Our first senior that they recognized is
next weekend.
Tanner Blake.
He had himself a wonderful game too, being wide receiver #1.
Well, they did Levi Besant first, and then they, excuse me, sent out Tanner Blake, having himself a great game. He's had himself a great season. And then the Vikings send out another senior, I believe. It's hard for us to see. I apologize.
Yeah, the windows are a little reflective.
But Pleasant Grove gets defeated by Lehi again. 2 weeks until their next game. They'll have a bye week next week. And also, you know, all the players get to take a little bit of a fall break.
Literally.
And so we will have that first round game for you in 2 weeks. We'll have it set up here at Vikings Stadium.
Yeah.
As I think that's the ball game. American Fork has beat Skyridge 34-27. The Falcons lose back-to-back overtime games.
That's got to be rough.
That's going to put the Vikings at 3rd in the region. American Fork goes 4-1. They top it. Skyridge goes 3-2. Lehi goes, well, I'm actually not sure what the tiebreaker will be because Lehi beat Pleasant Grove beat Skyridge beat Lehi. So there's really no clear tiebreaker.
Maybe they just flip a coin. Who knows?
I think we'll be 3rd.
If all works out, we could be 3rd or 4th. We'll see. I'll tell you guys as soon as we find out. Yeah, proud moment for these boys, especially these parents. They have a little bit more to brag about this Christmas when they talk to their in-laws.
Absolutely.
An amazing team that this high school has been missing for a couple years. Just an outstanding football team.
We'll continue to show you guys the highlight on the seniors, but I think that's going to wrap it up for our post-game show. I think we are going to have a game highlight that's going to be pushed across to you guys at some point within the next couple minutes. So we thank you for tuning in tonight. We are always very grateful that we get to produce these broadcasts for you guys. It's the highlight of my week, and I'm sure that the players are grateful that they have families back home who can watch this. A great game played all around by every player on every team. We thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, tune in 2 weeks. The game starts at 6 p.m., so our coverage will begin at 5:45 p.m.
Yeah. See you guys then.
Beating Orem 47-0. Number 59 is Ezra Ozian, escorted by his parents, Noel Kemp and David Kemp. His favorite quote is, "You have failed me for the last time." That's Darth Vader. Number 55 is Lucas Jackson, escorted by his parents, Sammy and Kevin Rose, and Kurt and Krista Jackson. After high school, he plans to go on to play college football. Number 16 is Jackson Lawrence, escorted by his parents, Byron and Carrie Lawrence. After he graduates, he plans to go on a mission and then play college football when he gets back. Number 47 is Blake Lignan, escorted by his parents, Kelly and Warren Lignan. His favorite football experience was scoring a touchdown when he was in the 8th grade. Number 52 is Caden Lunsford, escorted by his parents, Brittany and Matt Lunsford. His favorite quote is, "The past can be a great teacher." Number 13 is Hewitt McBride, his parents, Ashley and Brandon McBride. After high school, he plans to start a business with his brother. Number 7 is Gabe McCoy. His favorite quote is, "Some men aren't looking for anything logical like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world." And number 3 is Cale McCoy, your team captain. His favorite quote is, "Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." Both Gabe and Cale are escorted by their parents, Chris and Melissa McCoy.
How does the camera look?
Number 22 is Matt Morris, escorted by his dad, Justin Morris. His favorite quote is, "Who's going to carry the boats?" David Goggins. Number 6 is Mackay Peterson, a team captain, escorted by his parents, Brandon and Angela Peterson. After high school, he plans to serve a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Number 50 is Tread Powell, escorted by his parents, Cody and Shelly Powell. His favorite football experience, he says, was playing quarterback in 5th and 6th grade for the B team, or when I caught a punt and returned to in practice early. Number 19 is Parker Rivers, escorted by his parents, Rod and Julie Rivers. His favorite quote is, "There is no tomorrow." Number 66 is Paul Sanchez, escorted by his parents, Paul Sanchez and Melody Montijo. His favorite quote is, "Without sacrifice, there cannot be victory." Number 91 is Asher Tyler, escorted by his parents, Catherine Tyler and David Tyler. His favorite quote is, "I would rather have loyalty than love, because you can love someone and still stab them in the back." Number 23 is Dallin Weaver, escorted by his parents, Daryl and Marla Weaver. His favorite quote is, "It pays to be a winner." Miles Williams, number 63, escorted by his parents, Mark Williams and Tracy Maxwell. His favorite football experience is Friday night football games. Number 1 is Bronco Winterton, team captain, escorted by his parents, Gary and Julie Winterton. After he graduates, he is planning to serve an LDS mission. Number 8 is Tua Wolfram, escorted by his parents, Jared and Adrian Wolfram. After high school, he plans to pursue his baseball dream of playing at the next level at BYU. Number 95 is Rockwell Doman, escorted by his parents, Cliff and Rocky Doman. His favorite football experience was hitting the game-tying field goal in the Lone Peak game. DJ Anderson, team manager, escorted by his mom, Trina Anderson. After high school, he plans to serve in